Hello, everybody. We are live here on the Spark Network Twitch. There was a little bit of mixing around of where we were going to go, but we landed on a home right here, right now, for a special Halloween one-shot masks episode, which is a word I can't say without sounding ridiculous. For people who don't know, I'm Josh Perot from Taking Initiative, the DM, but I'm just hosting the Twitch right now. Who we should be talking to is the GM of this game, Chris, Polish Ogre from Corpses and Curios.
Hello, everybody. I want to say, first of all, thank you for inviting me, and I'm happy to be here and running this game of masks. Like Josh said, I'm with Corpses and Curios. We are a GURPS system. I know that's kind of like an odd thing to be out there, but we put out the 1st and the 15th of every month, just like some paychecks people receive. So we're right there with you.
Cool. And who else we have here is not just Spark Network people, it's a bunch of people. So let's go around on my window so you guys won't know the order at all. Celeste, who are you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Celeste Konowich. You might know me as the DM for the Venture Maidens podcast, which is an actual play D&D podcast that you can find wherever podcasts are free. But I am stoked to be here and playing masks again with you guys. Thanks so much for hosting and having us.
Thanks for joining us as always. It's always lovely to play with you and the Venture Maidens people. And I'm getting to play with somebody from the Venture Maidens who I've never gotten to play before. And it's someone people would recognize by the voice, I would imagine. Paul, who are you?
I am Paul Harpering. I am the narrator for the Venture Maidens. So that is my voice you get to hear at the beginning of every episode, inviting you to come into the story and to listen. I've been a gamer my whole life. I consider myself a Renaissance nerd. And this is my first time playing masks, though, but I'm super excited for some superhero action.
Very cool. I'm excited as well. Before we hop into the Taking Initiative other member here, Loren, we know you for masks, so what do you do?
If you know masks and you don't know me, what's wrong with you?
Oh, come on.
Hi, everybody. I am Loren Peterson. I am the MC for Nerds on a Roll. Our current arc just finished, and that was Heroes of Halcyon City, a 40-episode actual play of Masks: A New Generation. It's been a wild ride, folks. I have played Masks with all of these wonderful people except Paul before, and I'm excited to get to play with Paul tonight. I played with some of these characters you're going to see tonight before, so it's super exciting. I'm very happy to be here. And what else do you want me to say, Josh?
Well, I'm excited personally for you to play a character in Masks because I've never seen that before. I've only had you GM. So.
That's true. This will be my third time actually sitting down to play the game. Hopefully the first time I actually get to go more than like an hour.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got to sit in on one of Chris's games at Gen Con because my table didn't fill up. So we kind of smashed ours together. He took over, and then I had to go catch a flight. So I'm very excited to play tonight.
Same. And John, Mr. Taking Initiative,
Hi.
Other guy, who are you?
I am John, also known as Bucky. I normally play Vendalar Greymeyer on Taking Initiative, and I'm soon to be the DM of Taking Initiative. Mm-hmm. I'm super excited to be here, excited to play masks, excited to play these characters that Josh and I came up with at Gen Con. So, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pumped.
we played these characters for Loren's game at Gen Con.
Yeah.
Which is the only game at Gen Con that we even played.
That's true.
Of
I
any
take that as a
system.
compliment.
Yeah, well, I mean, we had to play a game, and that was
The rest
game.
of the time
It
was
great.
drinking delicious drinks and that amazing coffee that we had.
Yes.
The coffee was delicious. And on the topic of drinking, I don't think I met Celeste sober for like 3 days.
I was busy. I had a lot of social engagement. Yeah.
You did.
I remember re-meeting you twice.
Yes, exactly. The first 2 times we met was at night at one of the various bars we were at, and you had already been drinking for a while.
Yeah. I think
It was-
we met at the cocktail party, so obviously
Yes, the cocktail party, and then like not Dave and Buster's, that other one.
the one where
Regardless,
they have the beer that's a yard-long glass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yard House.
Yard House.
We
Yard
finally met.
House.
We finally met like the third day on the convention floor. We just ran into each other. It was great.
Yes.
That was Gen Con, everyone.
Yes, that was the best part about Gen Con, was getting to meet mostly everybody here and a whole bunch of other people. So if you're hitting up a convention, especially like PAX Unplugged that's coming up, Celeste will be there, I will be there. I don't know if any of you other people will be there.
I wish.
But there will be a bunch of us. Arch from the Lucky Die is going. Loren, Oboe Crazy from Dungeon Drunks. I talked to Michael from Drunks and Dragons, and he said his whole crew is going. So
cool.
if you're going to PAX Unplugged, make sure you let us know and hit us up when we're there. We love to meet people. So
And drink with people.
and drink with people, which we may do once or twice. So not to delay. Oh, no problem. Not to delay any longer. Go ahead.
I was gonna say the people that know me would be surprised to know that I was the adult.
You were the designated driver.
You drove Loren, Bucky, me, Brittany, and Nassim all to the hotel, and I am so thankful for it because we were getting nowhere.
No.
Thank you. And what I'm now excited for is this game that you have prepared for us. So, Chris, take it away with however you'd like to run this.
No problem. What I want to do is for anybody that's never played Mask or is unfamiliar with Masks, basically it's done by Magpie Games and it's powered by the Apocalypse system, which can basically be described as a shared narrative. So I'm not going to be calling all the shots and running everything and describing everything. We're all going to be sharing the narrative and putting this world together. It's going to be, just like superheroes, a team effort. The setup is that you are all teenage superheroes growing up in a large city that's known superheroes for 3 generations: a bronze generation, a silver generation, and a gold generation. Gold being the oldest generation and moving on and on through that. And you're all trying to make your way in the world. So we're going to be dealing with adults. We're going to be dealing with friends. We're going to be dealing with people whose opinions and thoughts matter, trying to tell you who you are and how the world works constantly. It's like being a teenager. So to get underway, what we're going to do is everybody has these awesome characters. So we will have everybody introduce their character. They're going to tell us a little bit about their character, give us kind of like a description and what your power sets are. And we will start at the top of the list. Let's talk. Josh, introduce us to your Nova.
Sure. My Nova, his name is Terry Storm. The hero name is Phobia. He is in high school still. He's in his senior year. He's a bit of a nerd computer guy. He likes to tinker with stuff, but a little earlier on in his life, he was bullied quite a bit. And it was unfortunate. He didn't really know how to handle it, and he became very fearful of kids that were around him and being rejected. And one day, when his kid Steve was bullying him around, which was like the most prominent bully, something started to happen, and all of Terry's fears started to manifest and started to fight off Steve. And after that encounter, Steve realized what he was doing and the effect he was having, and Steve and Terry became good friends, and that became like his confidant. But through his tinkering and messing around and fear manifestation and weird things that go on with his head, he created somebody. That somebody being John's character.
Our outsider, who just happens to be next. So John, tell us how you got here, buddy.
So, my character is, as Josh said, a manifestation of Phobia's powers. One day, I should mention that an outsider has a homeworld. My character's homeworld is the internet, the actual internet. So, my character refuses to go by his real name, which is XXGG420 Blaze It XX, and simply goes by the name Gigi. Gigi belongs to a think of like a survival horror-esque like Dead Space type game, but if it was an MMORPG, and he was a character in this game that someone made. So he was the avatar of this person. and through Phobia's powers, he was ripped from the internet and brought into the real world. Because of that, he was always just ecstatic to be with anybody else and to be in the real world, because the internet's a terrible place and no one should ever go there.
Sounds awful. I hear it's filled with disgusting things.
Yeah, it is. And he is so thankful to be anywhere but the internet and never wants to go back. However, there are people that want him back because his existence is an anomaly that's causing some very strange things to happen in the internet.
Is he being hunted by Anonymous and 4chan?
Yes. Non-stop. But yeah, that's Gigi.
Awesome. So next down the line is our delinquent. Hello, delinquent.
Loren, you're muted.
Yeah.
I'm muted. I keep doing that. And someone tell Chelsea to yell at me. She's constantly on my ass about that. Yeah, no, that's part of the delinquent. Haha, I'm fucking with you. No.
Such immersion.
I am playing a delinquent. I'm super excited to finally play a delinquent. I've played a bull and a protege before. But I am Caspian Welker, aka Liminal. He is a total like high school punk. All about like tagging things. He has like spray paint cans and he's all into like art and graffiti, listens to a lot of hip hop. Probably doesn't bother to wear a costume most of the time. No, sorry, he does have a costume. We'll get to that when we get to that. But Caspian Welker is just your sort of renegade. But it's sort of this all like front. Caspian's really, really smart. And he's kind of like that oddball kid and just tries to express himself in various ways, but ended up falling into this sort of renegade, rebel pastiche, as it were. He's brilliant, and my powers that I chose are teleportation, hacking, and gadgets. And essentially, he has developed some sort of, well, we might get to it in play, but like nanomachines and supercomputer stuff. He's a hacker. It's really cool. We'll get there. I'm terrible at describing characters. Why am I not running a game? What else do you want to know, Chris?
He's on the spot, and it's so cute. He's like, I'm not in control of anything. And
I'm not, and it's terrifying.
Now, speaking of making their first appearances, we got Paul here, who is running our Transformed, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct. I am playing Kyle Adam, also known as Mercury, and he is the son of super scientists that were working in their lab, and while aiding his father during an experiment with intelligent nanites, something went terribly awry. The nanites went berserk and consumed his father to replicate further. Kyle was caught up in a wave of silicate, but managed to disable the intelligence software before it consumed him. He now exists in a fluid metal body, entirely different from his former self, but driven by the ideal that his father's work would not be in vain. He subsists mainly on a diet of sugar and his mother's love.
Ooh, Halloween. That's perfect for him.
It's a trick-or-treat episode. Hi.
Excellent. Oh, yeah. He'll be tearing it all down. He's got a vicious sweet tooth.
Yes, but all they're handing out are almond joys and.
Almond joys are good.
I love almond joys.
Thank you, Bucky.
And last but not least in our hearts, Celeste is playing
The newborn.
The newborn.
Yes. So I am playing Eve Petrie, otherwise known as Celsius. And she essentially, the newborn is the idea that you were literally just created or you're new on the scene to this world. So her mother is a brainiac scientist who builds robotic technology and whatever. And she lost her actual human daughter in a fire. It was very tragic. So she decided to build a child for herself that would never suffer the same way and would be basically indestructible. So she built Celsius, so I am a totally inorganic life form, but I'm programmed to be like a teenager. So just imagine I'm just completely silver. I'm made of hafnium, which is one of the highest or temperature resistant metals ever. And I have like a cute little bob that's been designed like into my robot look. And I always wear like big hand-me-down or like weird ugly clothing because I burn it off so frequently because my power is temperature or thermal manipulation. So essentially I can create hot or cold fields. So I just burn through clothes literally constantly, but it's the right thing to do. So I wear them. And I love hanging out with my friends and understanding people who eat French fries. I think that's great. Love French fries. Can't taste them, but I'm so here to watch all of you eat them.
And Goodwill loves you. No.
Yeah.
I love Celsius so much. So much.
Her ugly kitten sweaters and like
Oh, she's the best.
Yes.
She's so the best. For Nerds on a Roll fans, she is a squire and she's amazing.
Yes. And that's me.
So now that we have all of these wonderful super teens, one of the wonderful things about masks and most powered by the Apocalypse system is now we get to bring them all together to decide how they meet and create their background. So that's done by a series of questions that are set up. So going back in the order that we introduced ourselves, I'm going to ask some questions and we're going to fill in the blanks together. So our Nova, Josh.
Yeah.
In the first fight, you guys destroyed your surroundings in the fight. Where was it, and what did you guys destroy?
Well, the first time around, Gigi and I destroyed a train at a train station. So I would say that personally was for us. But as a group for the 5 of us, I would say we repeated it and destroyed a subway, which caused the street above it to rupture and cause some traffic delays.
Traffic delays. Rats.
Let's step it up. You guys shut down the business district.
There we go. Again.
Ooh, people were mad.
There was no trade. There was no trading done that day.
Yeah, couldn't get to work, man. It's terrible.
And then our outsider. Oh, outsider. We didn't trust each other at first, but how did that change?
So we didn't trust each other at first because I'm from the internet and everybody knows what's on the internet. And everyone was like, I don't know about this. That seems a little weird. But on the other hand, I am a being from the internet that has a super cool space car. So I was able to drive everybody around.
Oh, yeah.
Space car is amazing.
Will you let me drive your space car?
I mean,
Everybody was doing their own thing till the space car showed up.
everyone was like, oh man, we're so boring, we have to leave. But then this great opportunity showed up. Let's go do things.
So, Delinquent, you totally broke some major rules to win that fight. What rules did they break, and whose rules were they?
Yeah, there were the city's rules. I think I convinced Celsius and Mercury we needed to steal some cars. Despite the fact that we had a super cool space car.
We need more cars.
We need more cars. And
course.
it was like half because it would give us an advantage and create a distraction, and half because I thought it was really funny that I convinced these 2 robot people to steal cars.
Oh, yeah, whatever you say.
Mhm.
I'm just here for friendship.
Oh, it's super easy for Mercury because he can. I forgot to mention my powers. Yeah, I took the technopathy power and then the transmuting flesh power as well. So.
Oh, you and the Delinquent.
Snap some fingers.
Friends.
Josh is the only one here who isn't technology based.
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
Ooh. Luddite.
You can still sit with us.
I
It's
am
okay.
a computer nerd. It just has nothing to do with my powers.
Mm.
He just might as well change his character to an Amish superhero.
Listen, my horse and buggy power
Goes in
does
with the
well.
horse and buggy and the
Yeah.
little orange triangle on the back.
Yep.
I will churn butter like no one's business.
Best butter
say
here.
that.
I will say that, and I don't care what it implies. Go on.
Continue.
Saucy.
So stepping back to our transformed Paul. So you drew a lot of attention during this fight and ire. One important person in the city hates your group and fears it now. Who would that be?
That would be the what would the position be called? Like the chairman of the Transportation Association. Like we've got the
agent.
Yeah. Whoever's in charge of that organization absolutely hates all of us because we shut down the subway system. We messed up the traffic patterns. We caused them years worth of paperwork.
Oh, automobile. Got it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Auto.
Then our last one. Let's see. What's the question here that we ask our newborn?
It's me. I was just boring.
Yes. Here we go.
I'm here.
The team discovered during the incident, thanks to them, you reached the outside world and helped in the fight. Where and how did they find you? And who gave you your first nickname?
I think because my mother created me, and then I think she was like, okay, you have a responsibility to go into the world and use your powers, right? You know, that's who you are now. So I think I just wandered around until I could find a superhero group that would let me in. So I showed up to, I don't know, wherever. I saw one of you guys cool out there, and I think I just ran into the middle of the fight to help, to prove that I was going to be there. And I'm like, I'm helping.
You walked down the street and you were like, oh, space car.
Yeah. I ran towards the space car.
Great, because my space bar's weakness is that it's easily detectable. So yeah.
Yeah. So I saw that, and I think I showed up on the scene. So maybe I sort of found them, but I definitely didn't introduce myself or anything before getting involved in helping you kick ass.
Awesome. Okay. So who gave you your name, Celsius, or who gave you your first nickname?
Who's Celsius's best friend?
I don't know. We'll determine that here in a second. You know what? We'll hold on to that question.
Okay, we'll hold on to that.
We'll move through relations and influence. We'll do those both at the same time.
Perfect.
Just to knock it out. So going back all the way up to our Nova. So Phobia.
Yes.
Go ahead and read off the relationships and the influence section and share with us a little bit about you.
Sure.
A little bit more.
You hang out all the time with Gigi to blow off steam. Gigi has basically become my best friend because I manifested him, and now he's my responsibility, so he's like my friend child. Kind of a mixture there. And then you once hurt myself when you lost control of your powers. Because the thing with my powers is if I don't control my own fears, they start to manifest themselves instead of me trying to manifest others. And I think I hurt myself or scared the shit out of myself so bad that it caused me to go into the influence section here of I put on a happy facade because I need to pretend I'm not fearful about things because then things get real bad. So because I chose the happy facade, I give influence to 3 teammates. That would blatantly be Gigi. I would say probably Celsius, because I don't get a lot of fear from Celsius. So I would probably try to be as close to... be close to her, right? I'm used to Tank being a dude.
Yep.
Okay, Celsius
yes,
girl.
she is a she.
Okay. So, yeah, Gigi, Celsius, and probably Caspian. Because I feel that for Mercury, it's Kyle, right? Kyle's an actual name?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Because for Kyle, I think because of what happened in the past with him, I would try not to get in the way of that mind state. So going to Caspian, since it's a little bit more free kind of, I just want that car, so I'm just going to go after it. I feel like there's not as much fear there. I don't know what the case is there, but I would probably try to attach myself there. So Caspian, Gigi, and Celsius.
Awesome. Beautiful. Moving right on down the line.
Wait, what was your character's name one more time, Josh?
My character is Terry Storm, a.k.a. Phobia.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
Next down the line. So, Gigi, tell us about your relationships and influence.
So my relationships are, you've been learning about Earth by spending time with Phobia. Obviously, he's the first person I met. He manifested me, and he was kind of like, "Hey, you're this thing that just I generated with my powers. I should probably claim some responsibility for you. So here's how life works." So I've been learning that from him, and I have a crush on Celsius, but I keep it under wraps. I picked Celsius because I feel like me and her have a very similar. We were both kind of created and manifested into the world and just like thrust into it. So I have that common ground with her. So I find that very interesting. And as far as influence goes, I get to choose a demeanor: haughty, or cheerful. I just merged the two words together. And obviously, Gigi, because he's not on the internet anymore, is incredibly cheerful. So everybody has influence over Gigi.
Yay!
Okay.
Now keep track of who you have influence over, because it's going to play an important role, especially as you try and tell each other how to do things, or call out for help, or just shift labels. Moving on down. Oh, Liminal, our delinquent.
Hi, yes, that's me. I'm the delinquent. For my relationships, you keep trying to impress blank with your antics. What the heck was that?
Your antics. I'm impressed.
That was one of the cards.
All right. Who am I trying to impress? I think it's Mercury, because Mercury's like a cool nanite cloud person, and I use like nanites in my gadgetry. So I'm definitely trying to impress Mercury with my antics. And you and Blank pulled an awesome, if illegal, stunt together. I like that either being Gigi or Celsius. One, because I like messing with Celsius, or two, because Gigi just seems like he would be on board for anything.
Yes, that's true.
I'm gonna say me and Celsius pulled something awesome, if illegal, but I don't have any ideas as to what. I want to say steal cars, but I already said we did that. What did we do, Celsius?
Wow. I mean, she'd be so on board. She thinks you're really cool. We'll get to that in my relationship. So whatever, she's so there for you. Ice cream truck.
Oh, I got an idea.
Stealing an ice cream truck. Yes.
What if we stole an ice cream truck and gave out something other than ice cream?
Yeah. Oh, to the
Tacos.
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, we stole an
I
ice
missed
cream
the whole
truck and then
concept,
gave
but I
out
wanted-
free tacos.
Yay. Oh, Celsius loved that.
Rebellion.
And it was like illegal, but only in a very bureaucratic sense.
Yep. And everybody was so happy.
Everyone was so happy. It was
Giving
awesome.
away free tacos. Aw. Yeah.
And she's like, "But the truck says ice cream, but we are handing out tacos."
But we are handing out tacos.
Say no to the taco.
Did I convince Celsius that that's what ice cream is?
Sure.
Tacos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's in Baskin Robbins going, "There is no meat or cheese."
There's no nacho cheese.
You're
for
like,
my ice cream.
You're like, this is what the cool teens call ice cream. They call it tacos. And I'm like, oh, thanks for letting me in the club.
And then for my influence, I care more than I let on, give influence to 3 teammates. I'm definitely giving influence to Mercury and Celsius, and then it's between Gigi and Phobia. Since I'm gonna go with Gigi because I'm afraid of Phobia.
Okay.
Rogue 2015, you beat me to it. The Choco Tacos would be a perfect mixture for
yes.
a truck.
Yes.
Mhm.
Taco tacos.
Hi, Rogue. He's one of our big hangouts in the TI Discord.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
of course.
buddy.
Hey man.
Not that I hang out there a lot either.
No, never. No.
So moving down to our transformed, you have a section called relationships and influence. So let us know.
Okay. So let's see. Blank comforted me when I was at my lowest. I'm gonna go ahead and say Phobia did that because Phobia had a really like traumatic, moment in his past, and so so Kyle Mercury sort of connected that with his own tragedy, losing his dad and then becoming a robot person. And then definitely Liminal knew me before I changed. Because you were working with nanite technology, and that's something that I was working with as well, parents' legacy, etc. So we'd met in labs or had to do homework together or something at some point. So you knew him when he was still.
What kind of ages are we talking about? Like,
I am 16.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought that specific about it. Yeah, like 16, 17, something like that.
Maybe interning and helping out at the father's lab. Maybe has a.
I think that sounds good.
Or something.
Yeah,
that sounds good to
that's
me.
Perfect. Yeah. So that was where we met at at Atom Industries, which was their laboratory. And let's see, my influence. You try not to care what other people think, even if you can't shut everyone out. Give influence to one teammate. Let's see. It's gonna be. I'm gonna give it to the delinquent because he knew me before. And I think that could lead to interesting scenarios. So Liminal, you have influence over
I'll take it.
Mercury. Oops.
And before we get this adventure underway, we just have one more to learn about. Celeste, take it away.
It's me. I'm a robot. Okay, so Caspian is an exemplary human. They show me around and tell me how things work. Obviously, I love it. Everything you say, I'm all about it.
That's a terrible idea.
She's convinced you're like just helping her out constantly so much.
You are circling the wrong drain.
Yeah.
Yep.
She absolutely hangs on everything you say. And I think the behavior of phobia confuses me. It confuses you again and again. You're determined to understand humanity better by studying them. Probably because you're also the most human, or the least technology, and this fear thing, and she doesn't really feel fear. You're just a fucking mystery to her. And I am very receptive to how people think and behave around me. So you all have influence over Celsius.
You get influence.
Yes! Tell me how to live my life. I'm not sure.
I have influence over all of you, and that is just the worst possible thing.
You're the bad boy kid. Everybody.
And Celeste, that's a quick question. Do you think that this is before Celsius met the lab rats or after? No one in the audience knows this because this potential episode hasn't come out yet, but just for John and my knowledge and Loren's.
Probably before,
okay.
Considering how that shook out.
Okay. Cool.
I think this is before that.
Cool.
Yeah, that was
a lot.
Hey, everybody, look forward to that.
Yep. Now, usually I'd go into the moves a little bit and have us talk about that, but for the sake of brevity, we're going to move on. So I think it's awesome that we'll find out about each other's character moves as they become relevant and as we start to use them. So when a move comes up, just be sure to share it and read it and go over it with everybody who's watching and viewing. So we have our team, we have our powers. Now let's set down into Halcyon City on the spookiest night of the year.
Thanksgiving.
No, that's the scariest night of the year. Spend the day with that one drunk uncle.
Oh God.
You mean you?
Oh boy.
It's okay. He makes that joke about himself all the time.
That drunk uncle that that you always like told not to hang around with too much.
You're like, don't ask Uncle Tom about his weird eye. Anyway.
Awesome. So the sun is setting. The full moon is rising. It's a harvest moon. And Halcyon City's spookiest night of the year. What is everybody doing? Especially since this might be a few people's first Halloweens.
It is literally.
So who's taking the time to explain Halloween to Celsius here?
What costume am I wearing?
Yes, what costume?
Let me know,
is everybody
Caspian.
wearing?
What did you convince me was the best costume? Because that's what I want.
Either it's one of two things. It's either the really shitty like robot costume made from cardboard boxes, or I just put an apron on you and I'm telling everyone you're the maid from the Jetsons.
I love the idea that I'm wearing like a cardboard box, like robot.
Okay. I like that one too. Just cardboard box with like the insulation and like the antennas made of hangers.
I think I went all out and I like put little LEDs in it too, so they light up. Like I went all out with this costume.
The arms are like made out of like the dryer hose.
Yeah, the tubes. Oh yeah.
Great.
So for me, Halloween is rough, as you'd imagine, because everyone's out and about and people are dressed normally pretty scary. Some people very sexy. Some people are like, oh, I know that character. But for me, I'm getting a lot of the feel of just people being scared and jump scares around. So I am quieter than normal, and you can tell that I'm intensely focused on trying to blank everything else out. And I am dressed in the most colorful, happy costume that you can possibly imagine right now. Probably like what's a really colorful, happy character?
Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Perfect.
Oh, that is very rainbow.
Yeah, I got that going, and then I have like this red kind of floppy wig on too. I just look like a goofball. Very intentionally.
Where do we hang out? Like, what's our hangout, guys? Where are we right now?
There's an extra conference room at the lab that's always available. Yeah, but
We just
it's
hang
not.
out.
It's not fancy.
We just hang out at a conference room. I refuse. For Liminal, that is boring as hell.
It's not great, but you know,
And
a place
Mercury,
we can chill.
what's your dad's name again?
Oh, my dad's name is Gordon.
All right, Gordon Adams, or Adam. Okay. All right. So.
And Mercury is excited about Halloween. This is going to be the first time he feels like he's going to be able to go out and walk around without people, doing double takes and staring at him and things like that. He transformed, like earlier this year. And so he's still sort of adapting to it and is just excited to not maybe have those glances, not have those looks, not, have that experience.
It's the one night of the year you get to be almost normal.
I did offer to make you a cardboard box too, since you're kind of a robot like me. I said we could be matching.
He appreciated that effort.
I still
but
have it in the closet just in case you change your mind.
Okay. He's wearing the antenna that you made to go on top of the cardboard box not be so harsh to placate.
You just are a T-1000.
Pretty much. Pretty much, except he's not good at getting his facial features right, so they're all kind of like blended out. So kind of like Odo from like Deep Space Nine. So there's very few, like there's no wrinkles, there's no definition in his facial features at all, and his eyes are like bright blue, like crystalline, like orbs, like D20s, but yeah. Glowing bright blue.
Gigi is flustered because he doesn't know what costume to wear, because much like a video game character, he has all of the costumes to assume that he can wear. So he has a device on him that basically controls a lot of the aspects of what he has, his suit and armor, and like it also acts as his weapon. It's basically like this rod that has a USB attachment on the end of it. And he can plug the USB into different things, and he can also use it to change his outfit. So he's like going through a pack of Halloween costumes in a game and flipping through them all. And like he's Dracula, and then he's a zombie, and then he's like just constantly flipping through all these different costumes like in a flurry because he doesn't know which one to pick.
I think Celsius will just also scoot the extra robot box just a little bit closer to you. I think she really, really likes the idea of group costumes. I think she just learned what that is and thinks it's the coolest thing to do with your friends.
We are all a delivery from Amazon. All right, so I think that wraps everybody up. And you said that there's the conference room and everybody's getting ready to go out trick-or-treating, getting dressed up.
Yeah, are we going out? Oh, please tell me we're going out.
I am not getting ready to trick or treat. I teleport in, and I've just got like 4 dozen eggs and like an industrial sized TP package, and I am ready to raise hell.
I'm currently queuing up. I'm popping in at least one earbud, that way I can still talk to you guys, but I'm just going to pump in some happy music. So I'm in a good place. I have some Earth, Wind, and Fire going.
Nice.
And
September.
It's just calming me right down. It's putting me into a groove and trying to block out whatever's going on.
Aw, the childlike enthusiasm isn't like warming your heart.
We're in a conference room.
We are.
But you're there with 2 robots.
That's true.
Yeah,
and
a robot dressed as a robot.
That's true. Which is
amazing.
why I'm glad I'm with you guys. But the anticipation of what's outside is kind of offsetting. It's like that stage fright kind of feel. You may be around good people now, but in a second, it may be a little bad. So I'm just prepping myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cutting little ghosts out of construction paper and handing them to you.
It's helping.
Good.
So as you're all getting dressed and you're going about the fun thing, the panel shows the door slide open behind you, and you see the silhouette of Gordon, and you hear his voice over all of your shoulders. Yes, your father.
What?
As everybody's like, getting enthusiastic, and then you just kind of in the back panel, how you see the door slide open, you see the silhouette of like a fatherly figure. Kyle, I'm surprised you haven't left yet.
Dad? What are you doing here?
What the hell? He's dead. What am I saying?
That's why I was very...
we jumped the gun real quick.
I'm terrible.
He's dead. Right to the ghosts. I was like, man, we are in it. Okay.
It's your mom, Gina Ramsey, or whatever.
Yeah.
Wait, your mom's alive, right?
Yeah. Mom's still alive. And
Amy, is that good?
That's perfect.
Terrible. I screwed that all up.
Well, no, that could have happened because I'm still feeling the fear of what happened. You're kind of in conference room or whatever, and it manifested a ghost from my head, and that's me trying to clear it out.
I like that.
Looked like the father, and then the light pulled through, and they were like, "Oh no, it's just mom." Wait a minute, what?
There you go.
I like
Mom.
that.
Trick of the.
Nice.
Take off those shoulder pads. You don't need that.
I like that. No, I like how you're getting agitated and that fear manifested itself and stole it out of Kyle's mind.
Ooh.
And for a moment there, the physical form of your father is standing there, and he's acting completely normal. Like, hey, kids, why haven't you gone out yet? You're always hanging out around here.
Kyle, sorry,
Oh.
sorry. Ignore that. Sorry. My bad.
Phobia, you good? You good?
I'm doing great. Doing just fine, Kyle.
Oh.
I am so sorry.
Yeah, it's it's okay. Are we getting out of here like soon? Like yeah. I mean, yeah, we should get out there. I mean, if we want to get full size candy bars, we got to get out early.
Yeah,
This
Candy sounds great.
The apparition is still kind of standing there, and over the intercom, you hear Amy, the mother, say, "Hey, I'm gonna be bringing some cookies down before you guys go out trick or treating. Would you guys like something to drink? Maybe something to eat before you head out?"
Mom, geez, we're getting ready to go. Like, you don't have to bring cookies or anything like that. I mean, yeah, since you made the cookies, that would be okay. Did you all want drinks?
I would love a cookie. For all my friends.
Is that Celsius?
Yes. Hello, Mrs.
I'll be bringing you some ice cream.
Yay! I love ice cream. It's my favorite. Can you bring one for Caspian too?
Yes, I'll be bringing down some ice cream.
Just a head shake, eye roll.
So you hear the footsteps coming down one of the back hallways, like one of the flight landings, and that apparition is still standing there.
Oh crap!
Can you get rid of that phobia?
Make it
Like,
go
it's
away.
really starting to bug me. I'm
Make it go away.
trying to be cool about this, but
Can I try?
I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, you just keep. I'm just trying to get rid of it. Is there a move I can do to try and kind of cleanse my brain a bit?
You know what? Let's just have some fun with this. Roll to unleash your powers.
Sure.
And we'll see if you can shut it down.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that's a good start. Let's see here. That's a 7.
Cool. So reshape your environment. You can just pretty much make it disappear, and it just kind of fades away as Mom rounds the corner with a plate of cookies, tacos, and lemonade for everybody.
I'm like hunched over, like hands on my knees, like, because I didn't want, like, I already subjected Kyle to that. Putting his mom through that too is not part of the plan. I'm just like, calm down. I'm starting to hum to fantasy right now. Just
and she sets the tray down and she puts a warm hand onto your back. It says, "Here, you look like you could use some lemonade. It's fresh squeezed."
it's going down the hatch. Just going. I'm there's like a bead of sweat just kind of going down. I'm having a rough time.
Oh, I think Celsius is going to come, or the minute you start drinking, she's going to kind of slide like and look at you as you do this, just like really intensely. She loves watching people eat or drink things. Yeah, but then she's gonna. Are you all right? You're leaking.
I look down at my pants and I realize that everything's A-okay. I go, oh, yeah. Don't worry about it. I'll be okay. Let's just have some cookies and let's just get on with it.
Well, you're
Everything's
doing
fine.
great, and you're my friend. Have a tiny ghost.
Thank you.
Mom, why are you still here? You can leave now. Thanks.
Amy kind of
Okay.
smiles and she's like, would you like a ride anywhere, or are you just going to be traveling?
No, we don't need a ride, Mom. It's fine. We're gonna take the bus. Just because
bus?
we keep the space car a secret from her. She wouldn't approve
she
of
doesn't know about
tooling around in the space car. Yeah.
Are you sure? We just got the new SUV, and I could just drop the kids off wherever you needed to go.
No, we're taking the bus.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm going to waggle my eyebrows.
be careful. What neighborhood are you going to be trick-or-treating in tonight? I just want to know where you're at, honey.
Yeah, we're just going over to Halcyon Villages. You know, it's the townhouses just a few, blocks away.
Ooh, that nice gated community. I'm sure you'll have a great haul there.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Tucks eggs back behind himself so they cannot be seen.
Okay. She just looks over at Liminal and just assumes that you're going to be making breakfast in the morning for everybody because
Yeah, sure. That's exactly what they're here for.
All right. So she walks upstairs, leaves the plate of tacos / ice cream, lemonade, and cookies for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom is so lovely.
Yeah,
she is nice. It's but I need my space. I mean, but the cookies are good, and he just starts shoving them in his face.
I couldn't agree more. We've had enough treats. It's time for some tricks.
Yeah.
Gigi finally decided on his costume. He's not going with anything in the thing, and he's wearing the spare robot costume.
Celsius sees you, puts it on, and just turns, and giant smile,
Thumbs
and then, yeah, absolute thumbs up. Then she's like, Caspian, will you eat this taco for me?
I eat the taco.
She watches you eat the taco.
It's so weird. But I like Celsius. I do it for her.
Oh my god, we look so cool.
She's like, chew slower.
How is that bite? Yeah?
Yeah, good. Okay, and then just finish. Let's go.
Are we ready to get on the bus?
You have some lettuce.
Yeah.
We getting on the bus?
Let's go. Halloween.
Cool.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Gigi's space car is called the bus,
There we
Yeah.
go.
which is the computer term.
I'm also going
The
to
magic
take.
bus.
I'm going to
The
take
BUS.
Celsius's.
Josh, you're muted.
All right.
Thank you, Celsius. I'm going to take, if it's okay with you, your other made cardboard robot head, and I'm going to put it on mine. Just to kind of blockade myself, and you were a really good friend to me, so I wanted to do the group costumes with you.
Celsius can't contain it.
You are all dorks.
Yeah,
We're all robots.
I'm
Super
from the
cool
internet.
robots.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, to the roof.
All right. So to the roof, and then we're going to get a couple splash panels. We have everybody piling into and onto the car because I guess it's only a 2-seater, correct?
It is kind of like, if you've ever played Destiny, it looks like a Sparrow. It's more along the lines of like a 1-seater hover bike, but there's a big platform on the back of it that he uses to stand on when he has to fight. So people are just kind of there's one person sitting directly behind him and everyone else is piled on the platform in the back.
Nice.
If it's like a Sparrow, can I be reclining on that front long sloop bit?
Yeah.
Just chilling.
I love it. And I could see the big splash page panel where we see Halcyon cities, the villages below, the full moon, and then you just see the space car, the bus just silhouetted against the moon, and everybody's little heroic pose as they pass over. But
I'm just hanging on the back.
You can fly.
I can fly, but it's more fun this way.
Good point.
so what's playing on the speakers? Are you listening to the radio? Are you bumping some music? What's
Oh, I have a playlist.
Oh, you have a playlist.
I have a playlist. Absolutely. Let's see. What's the current song that's playing on that playlist?
I feel like Celsius had an idea and was like, I can control the music. We plugged it right in. Monster Mash started playing and it was immediately pulled out. And
I'm definitely not allowed to run the music in the car anymore.
Yeah, Mercury would have snapped the fingers and shut that down right away.
We're listening to
I was
Ghost Town by
hoping
the
to-
Specials.
Ooh, that's a good song.
What was the song we playing?
Ghost Town by the Specials.
Nice.
Okay.
Perfect. And as you're getting ready to land on the street and you're approaching, you notice two things. Aegis helicopters circling, screaming, and the signs of like nobody really on the street. You see like children in costume and carrying bags and everything running indoors.
Oh no.
That's not good.
They've set up a blockade at the end of the main street leading into the gated community, and they've also blocked off the two major sections leading into a cul-de-sac.
Can I use my technopathy to change the music over to like a police scanner or something like that?
Well, since that's your power and it's well within your field, boom, you just did. So
Sweet.
you are right there hacked into the police shortwaves, and you hear them. Aegis is like the shield or superhero operative, so it's a little bit harder to hack into their system because they're used to dealing with supers, so they're going to try and keep their stuff on the down low. But hacking into like the local Halcyon City Police Department or something like that is pretty much a gimme.
Cool.
You hear the voice. This is Sergeant O'Rourke. We've got the perimeter secured, but Aegis is moving on into the interior. It appears that we might be dealing with a hostile of some sort. There's a lady out in the street who Aegis is talking to, but we can't get her to move or come with them. She won't clear the area for some reason. And you catch that over the chatter. The rest of it's just pretty much setting up and logistics and everything else like that, talking about how they're being instructed what to do with Aegis. And of course, you got that grumpy sergeant who's like, oh, Aegis shows up and all of a sudden they just get to run everything, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So do we see what they're talking about from up here?
You can see it from overhead. And as the bus pulls, you can see that one of the Aegis agents, what looks like their headquarters van that they always set up, their mobile command station. You can see that there's somebody out front who seems to have like full bird colonel lapels on, kind of like look up and just make eye contact with your ship, Gigi.
Should we go help? I'm like crying from the back in the wind.
Do you want me to get us in?
They already know we're here.
Yeah.
Might as well move closer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll bring us in.
Okay. So you just bring it in, and you're just gonna pull up and land. We see him floating down. We see the mobile command post, and then your ship just kind of land in and stop, and everybody dismounts. As you're standing there, the full board colonel is talking to a young lady and a younger mother in a Sunday dress, and she's just going a mile a minute trying to explain something. And she's like, and the colonel walks over and he kind of eyes and he's like, all right, craziest night of the year, busiest night of the year. I'll take what I can get. So here's the situation. We have some kind of anomaly that we're dealing with, and this young lady keeps saying, don't hurt Johnny. And she's like, he's my son. Don't hurt my son. Don't take him to jail. He's a good boy. He's just having problems right now. You could hear her just like kind of screaming in the background, like something's gotten out of control.
I dare you to make less sense.
Well, luckily for you, we're here to bust some ghosts. I'm gonna look and smile at everybody.
So
Okay.
we saw
And
some.
the colonel just kind of goes, who's the most adult in charge here?
Doing my best Bill Murray impersonation.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be me.
Army training, sir. He says, all right, we'll just establish the perimeter. And he kind of just smiles at you and he points over his shoulder and he goes, she's all yours. And he kind of steps over to the side and starts talking to some people dressed in almost what looks like SWAT gear with very large guns that can be used to shoot like EMPs or adjusted to shoot electricity, adjusted to shoot various containment techniques in regards to dealing with super high-powered individuals.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Well,
and the panicked mother just kind of walks over and she's like, please don't hurt Johnny. Don't hurt Johnny. He's a good boy. He just snuck out. I didn't expect him to do that. Usually he just listens to me. There's a loud crash as a station wagon lands about 30 feet away from you, just engine first. Boom, hits the concrete, falls over, and you hear a roar from behind a house.
Is that Johnny?
Yes, please don't hurt him. Please don't hurt him.
Well, what's up with him so that way we can take care of him in a good way that's not going to hurt him? What's up with him?
He's well, for lack of a better term, he's a little bit hyperglycemic. And usually we keep him in on nights like this and monitor his sugar intake, but he snuck out with some friends and it only got worse from there.
Ah.
Oh.
Yeah, I have problems when my blood sugar's out of whack too.
I'm sorry. Do I see a giant marshmallow man? That is exactly what Celsius is looking for.
I will let go ahead. Give me since you're looking around, I'll let you assess the situation.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've seen this movie. I know what I'm ready for. I don't think I've quite gotten the whole thing that movies aren't real events yet. Okay. All right, remind me.
Roll 2 dice. You're going to add superior. Do you have your move sheet there?
I do. Yes. Okay. So I got a 5 total.
Okay. All right. So you got a 5 total. All right. So you failed at this. So you are going to mark potential. So potential is the little bonuses you get towards leveling up, because in Masks, as you play, you learn from your mistakes, like all good teenagers. So you're going to make mistakes, but at least they're going to contribute to you getting better at what you do.
Okay.
So you're like, oh yes, who thought of the Stay Puffed? And who thought of the Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man? And you start like pointing at people and agents, and it's like, who thought of something? Who thought of something? You should have kept your mind clear.
Phobia?
This wasn't me. I was with you.
Okay, I'm so busy looking for Ghostbusters things that I can't see anything else.
No, you're completely distracted.
Mm-hmm.
You think that Ray Stans caused all of this?
I have no idea. It's just crazy.
Can I try to pick at what everyone's been running away from in their heads and try to like create an illusion in front of me of what we're dealing with based on what they saw?
Create an illusion of it? Because from what we know, you can do like physical manifestations of fears.
Yes.
So I think since you're trying to create an illusion of it and piece it together, that'd be more of an unleash your powers kind of deal.
Yeah, or not an illusion, but could I like make the ground come up and form into what it looks like as a manifestation?
It a shot. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead, give me an unleash your powers on that one.
That is a 9.
Beautiful. So go ahead and pick off the list there.
Pick off. What are you?
Unleash your powers.
Oh, I don't have a list on that one.
Oh, okay. So on a hit, you do it. On a 7 to 9, mark a condition, or the GM just tells you how it's unstable or temporary.
Oh, right. So I'm going to mark. I'm going to mark afraid.
You're going to mark afraid? Okay.
Yes, because of everything that's going on, and I was already trying to keep it all in. Shit went bad, so I'm afraid that things are going to get worse.
Okay, I'll accept that. Well, you managed, since you took the condition, I'm going to make it appear, I'm going to make it a very good description of what you see. What forms in front of you, it's not a to scale model. You keep in mind that you didn't want to form this thing entirely because it's large. It's probably about 2 stories tall. So you cut it down to about 1/10 of the size. And it looks like a golem of some sort. Its right arm is a mess of some sort of tentacles. Its left arm is like a large, bulbous kind of fist. And it is just like hunched over, large, 3 legs, and it just seems to be like looking about in this backyard, and you can hear that it's stomping around behind a house just across the cul-de-sac.
Okay, so
it's yet come into view.
So as I'm building it, I'm telling everyone, I'm like, this is.
I can see it. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, imagine this, but a lot bigger, and there's a lot of bad feelings going on around us. We need to be careful, but this thing is huge, like huge. We should try to go stop that thing, like now.
Okay. I'm going to get eyes on it right now, and I'm going to summon the bus, hop on, and start going up and trying to get over to, like, so I can get sight from above to where this thing is.
Okay, and as you go up there, you notice that Aegis helicopters also now have spotlights on it because they saw where the station wagon came sailing from, and it's like all the lights were like, boom, and we get a overhead shot of exactly what I described. If you want to assess the situation on it, since you have eyes on it now, I'm kind of steering you a little bit, but it might answer some questions you might have about what you see.
Gigi, what do your internet eyes see?
That's a 9 + 2, so 11.
Okay, cool. So you rolling on assess the situation on a 10+. Go ahead, ask me 2 of those questions.
Okay. Well, I don't want to ask what's the biggest threat because that's blatantly obvious.
The big one.
Is it always the most obvious?
I'm going to ask what here is in the greatest danger.
Anybody within tentacle/armed reach of this thing.
Okay. And how could we best end this quickly?
Hit fast, hit strong, but evidently there's a child in there somewhere.
So we need to stop it without hurting it.
Yes, and here's what you see. It is not a golem of some sort made out of flesh or stone or anything else like that you're used to fighting. Its right arm, the tentacles seem to be made out of black licorice. And it seems to be an amalgamation of just piles of candy. You see like Red Hots and candy corn and Baby Ruth wrappers and just anything that was maybe within a half-mile radius, including the local like Walmart store, was just pulled into this form, and it is a rampaging candy monster.
Fighting the Candyman?
Yeah, Candyman.
Just behind this house, and you see it's like looking into windows, and like the tentacle goes through the window, and you hear it go, Snickers. Satisfies. And then you see like the brown little wrappers go tumbling down, and its mouth opens, just go, and then no more, and then it goes lumbering through the backyard, and everybody that's on the floor sees it pass through the backyard of one house, knock over the fence, and go into the next one, and it's trick or treat.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that we have like headsets of some kind. I'm immediately going to be like, all right, you guys need to get in there. Now, this kid's got one hell of a sweet tooth, and there is a child in there. Go.
This is going to get sticky. And I go sprinting off towards this thing.
I love how your characters do
puns. If we were playing
puns.
that game, I'd give you inspiration right now.
Celeste hates puns, but your characters love them.
They love them. I don't know why. I create the thing I fear and hate most in my work.
That sounds like somebody's superpowers, doesn't
I
it?
know, it's quite the punishment. Okay, so I'm like, okay, let's go. And I'm going to run in an intercepting course with it.
Yeah.
No problem. So we get the panel of everybody dashing as the bus hovers overhead, looking down, calling out what's going on. So as everybody rounds the corner, you see that this thing is huge, lumbering, and it's knocking on the back door as the bravest little chihuahua you've ever seen stands at the back sliding glass door entrance, just letting him have it.
Good boy.
On the way to run back around the house, as all of the street was being cleared out, did any trick-or-treaters drop their bags of candy?
Anybody that's dropped the bag was pretty much had it absorbed. It's like this thing is
Okay, it's already been.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
All your bags belong to us.
Cool.
I think Celsius is waving in one of her hands those little orange plastic pumpkins. Like getting ready to scoop this thing.
Now, running towards it, Chris, can I feel like multiple kind of wavelengths from this thing? Do I feel like a thought process from the creature as well as the child, or is it one being? I will gladly roll something. I know you're probably thinking mechanic-wise here, but
No, I think that's within your power set.
okay.
You can see that it's not a creature that's possessing that's overpowering the child. You get a sense that there's actually a child in there who never gets candy, but now's his chance.
Gotcha.
I don't know why mom won't let me have candy, but I'm going to make the most of it today. It's Halloween. How dare she not let me trick or treat for the last 6 years and make me eat carrots and celery? He's angry and he just wants to get some gosh darn candy like all of his friends.
Okay, I relay that to everybody. I'm like, guys, just letting you know that is the kid. So we can't separate it.
Can't melt it.
So the candy's fair game. Don't aim towards the middle.
I don't know. I can't see, but like it's the same mind.
If you would like to ask any of those questions off assess the situation, I'd let you roll that too. If there's any questions in there that you
Absolutely yes.
Go ahead.
That is a 7.
Okay.
Ask one. So I would say, what here can I use to dwindle this creature? If that makes sense. To kind of take away some of his oomph.
Okay. I'm going to throw you a bone on this one since it's like kind of like the first encounter. As you look around, you see that there are some ambulances and EMTs, and you're like, okay, if this kid's blood sugar is out of whack and it's off the charts, maybe he just needs a little bit of insulin.
Just a little.
Just a little bit. But the problem you may run into is trying to administer it to him.
Yeah.
I got it.
Because he's hit like the hyperactivity disorder, where if he was ate any more sugar, he'd vibrate and maybe slip through dimensions.
Okay, so while trying to think of this, I'm like, insulin, sugar also like can crystallize. I'm just kind of going through thoughts. And I turn to Caspian as we're running towards it. I'm like, you're the smart one, dude. Figure it out. We're just gonna fight it or something. I don't know. And I'm going to see. I'm just going to keep on running. I can't think of a fear to rip on right now, but I'm like, guys, we should start attacking and stopping his path, but we need to think of a way to stop him.
Wait, you said we need insulin?
Yeah.
I'm on it. I'm going to use my Belong in Two Worlds move
Okay.
so that I can attempt to receive a useful piece of alien technology that will allow me to use an ability from another playbook.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to roll for this. We're going to see what happens.
I'm definitely gonna dive into that candy.
Oh, that's a 5.
That's happening.
I'm about to devour those licorice tentacles.
That's a 5.
Mercury's first move.
So, yeah,
I
that's
see
a
somebody
5.
else likes black licorice, so
My Belong in Two Worlds power, when I try to communicate with my homeworld, which is basically just using Google, I try and Google insulin, and I basically order insulin on Amazon, but I can't get it shipped immediately. So
No.
it's now taking forever. And probably in a week, I'm going to get a random shipment of insulin, and I'm going to be like, well,
no, I
don't
think
need this anymore.
I think you messed up long enough where you tried to like order foreign insulin from like Mexico City, and it'll be in about 3 to 6 months.
yeah. That's just going to show up and be like, oh, right, yeah.
Oh, crap.
Could have used this, 6 months ago.
So with that,
Don't forget to mark potential.
Oh, yeah. Holy
I
shit.
think
Anytime you fail, don't forget to mark potential.
as I'm running alongside of Phobia, it's okay. Well, Gigi's useless, and I like jump through the air and teleport. We can see this thing, right?
Yes.
Okay. I teleport, and I'm like kind of. I think I teleport in short bursts, so I'm trying to get to the other side of it, and I come out. I'm like, Celsius, I'm gonna pull a Roadrunner. You do Princess Bride. And I teleport to the other side of it, or nearby to like the left, and I find a big wall, and I take out my spray cans, which spray clouds of nanites.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spray paint the wall so that it looks like a big pile of candy. And I'm gonna use my "Are you watching closely?" move. When you mislead, distract, or trick someone, roll plus superior. On a hit, they are fooled, at least for a moment. On a 10 plus, choose 3. On a 7 to 9, choose 2. And I just picked a random ass movie, and I figure that Celsius will figure it means
Well,
something.
absolutely. No, she loves when you talk to her in movie terms. She's like, yeah, and then she'll come up with something. We'll see.
I rolled 2 6s, so that's a 12, and I have a plus 2 superior, so that's a 14.
Holy shit.
Beautiful.
On a 10 plus, I choose 3. So on a hit, they're fooled at least for a moment. On a 10 plus, choose 3. Out of, you get an opportunity, you expose a weakness or flaw, you confuse them for some time, you avoid further entanglement. I'm going to choose I confuse them for some time as I keep flitting about and just spray painting like hyper-realistic candy on walls. I expose a weakness or a flaw, and I'm going to say I get an opportunity. Actually, I'm going to say I avoid further entanglement as I'm just constantly teleporting around, keeping its attention. So confuse them for some time, avoid further entanglement, and I expose a weakness or flaw.
I think with the 14, you step it up a bit, and that wall doesn't look like assorted candy. It looks almost like a large baby Ruth itself. And it turns, and it's like, oh. And one tentacle wraps around this like a cinder block wall, and the other arm grabs it, and its mouth opens about half the size of its body. And when it does that, you can see the small child's like kind of sleepy visage at the back of it when the mouth opens. So there's your opportunity, and it's about to bite down on this wall. So you have a look at the child right now inside.
Mm-hmm. I would love to use my Princess Bride move and just launch myself off the ground and scream, "My name is Inigo Montoya!" And I was hoping you were going to say,
"You eat my candy, prepare to die."
Prepare to die! And it's just going to, try and jump in there, get a hold of that kid.
Okay, roll to directly engage the threat.
Oh, heck yes. Okay.
I'm off to the side. I see her doing that. I see the mouth opening. I see the kid. I'm like, inconceivable.
Inconceivable. Okay. So for this, so I just rolled the 2, and I get to add plus danger. Okay, sweet. I'm great at that. Okay, so that'll be a 10.
Awesome. So if you have the list there, go ahead and pick 2 off the list, I believe, with directly engage a threat.
Okay. So I want to, let's see, take something from them. Can I take the kid out of the candy man? Nope. Okay.
No, I said go for it.
Oh yeah. So I want to
get your hand on the kid.
Yeah, so I basically want to try and pull this kid out of here, and by engaging with the thing, I also want to create opportunity for my allies. So I'm tanking this thing. Here we go again.
You have hold of the child.
Yeah.
You're pulling him out, and you said you wanted to create an opportunity for your allies, right?
Yeah, essentially. So I'm in the middle of everything. So any aggro or repercussions, I want them coming right at me.
You are going to take a powerful blow from that. So you're going to roll 2 dice from that.
All right, I got a 4.
That's
beautiful.
Do I add anything?
Nice.
Oh,
that's good.
Yes, you always. That's the one you always want to roll low on. You're gonna. You're gonna roll plus any conditions. You don't have any conditions marked, so you're gonna mark potential because you stood strong.
Okay.
And I think you see Celsius jump in there and go and pull kind of melt the candy that's like securing the kid.
Oh yeah.
Pull him out and says, "I have him," and then you see the mouth just go. The mouth just slams close on her and the kid. And Celsius, describe what happens next to show how you weather this blow.
Oh, so I'm swarmed in candy at this point, and I'm just like yeah, and I've got this child here around me, and I'm just like, so sticky, and I do increase that heat field around me, so candy is just like melting around me and like the kids, so it's hitting me, but I'm just covered in like melting chocolate and sugar, and so I'm just crouched down with this kid, just trying to beat off the candy coming at me with my little heat.
Oh my god, that's gonna take so long to wash out.
Luckily I'm metal, so
everybody watching and seeing from the air, you just see this thing start whipping its tentacles back and forth and just kind of screaming, and you can smell the like kind of sick saccharine smell of like burning sugar and plastic wrappers.
Oof.
And this thing is completely distracted. It looks like it's being torn apart from the inside, for lack of a better term, but there's an opportunity created. So somebody who hasn't gone, I believe Paul hasn't taken, or Mercury hasn't taken his shot yet, if he wants to do something.
Yeah, so one of my transformed moves is Unstoppable. So I would like to use that to smash back through the candy golem and scoop both of them out and just keep going, essentially.
Just like little babushkas picking each other up.
Now, if I remember this right, you roll to directly engage a threat, and with Unstoppable, you get a hit irregardless, right?
When you smash your way through scenery to get to or away from something, roll plus danger. On a hit, the world breaks before you and you get what you want. On a 7 to 9, choose a thing, and then on a miss, you smash through but leave devastation in your wake.
Go ahead.
So, all right, I'm going to roll 2 dice and add my danger trait to it, my label. Okay. That is a 6.
Ouch.
So we didn't roll team pool in the beginning, but do we have any team that we can lend?
You always start with 2 at the start of a session, if I'm not mistaken.
So could I lend a point of team to help him so it succeeds?
Yes. How would you like to do that? What do we see?
So I would like to think that because of what happened with Celsius, that it is fearing this fire from the inside. So I am just causing more of that fire to erupt within it and melt, and it causes a lot, like kind of a solidified wall of its body to just present itself in front of Mercury, so it has a clear target.
Beautiful, beautiful. So instead of assorted candy, it becomes hardened, beautiful, one big target to be shattered.
Yeah.
That puts it up to a 7 then, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Now, did you roll 6 and add your danger to it, or did you just roll?
I rolled a 5 and I added my danger, which is only a +1.
Sure. Okay, just make sure. All right. So that puts it at a 7. So go ahead and what happens with the 7?
So let's see. in terms of like mechanically, I have to choose one, mark a condition, leave something behind, or take something with you. I would like to take them with me. Does that work?
Well, no. Take
No.
something with you is something that the GM decides to maybe in some way. It's a negative.
Right. Okay. Well, I will. Let's see. What are the conditions again? I will go ahead and take. Let's see. Insecure. Because like this move has worked before, or he saw this type of move go before, and he realizes he's trying the same thing, so he's not sure. Yeah, he's not real sure of himself right now.
Okay.
I'll mark that condition.
Pull something up real quick. I'm just looking something up on the transformed here very quickly. All right, unstoppable. When you smash away, there's a 7 and 9. Choose one, mark a condition, leave. All right, so you're marking a condition. You're choosing insecure.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Correct.
All right. So you've made your way in. I believe now when you smash your way through when you smash your way through the scenery, we're going to consider the candy golem itself part of the scenery that's been solidified with the fire and the burning. The world is broken before you, and you get what you want. So describe what happens and tell us as you hit into this candy creature, how you emerge.
So as he's takes off towards it, his skin becomes less silvery and becomes more leaden as he's changing his mass so that it will be able to punch through harder. And so then, as he punches through, then when he goes to scoop them up, he changes the material to like a rubber, so it's softer and a like cushion to absorb them, and then then just smashes out through the rest of it, and tumbles and sort of stretches his body out to like shield them as they roll off out of the golem.
So we see Celsius. We get this panel where Celsius has the child wrapped up, and as she's slowly burning her way through this child, she kind of thinks to herself, "Oh yes, human children still need to breathe. I wonder how we could solve this situation."
Oh, right.
And then all of a sudden, you just see like the panel shift, and like all of a sudden, she's upside down and laying on the lawn, and Mercury's standing over two of them, and you can see behind him like the half blown out lower half of this golem, and it's still standing on two of the legs because it had three legs. And he's like, "Are you okay?" And take a powerful blow, Mercury. Roll to take a powerful blow because you didn't resist or avoid anything here.
Ooh.
Okay. Where did I put? There they are. So what is it? I have another transformed move. That's I am not my body. When you take a powerful physical blow.
Those are the two that you took.
I took those, and then I picked "Wish I Could Be" was the third.
It looks like you made all the right choices tonight.
Woo! All right. So let's see. Roll as if you had 2 fewer conditions marked. If you do the 10 or better. Okay. So awesome. I got an 11.
Ouch!
All right. So I must
choose one. choose one on the 10 plus list, or on the 7 to 9, you choose two of those, if I'm not mistaken.
So where is
All
that?
right.
Do you have a page number?
Under basic moves, it's on the bottom right side of it. It says take a powerful blow.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there
I
we
can
go.
read it off to you, but if you have it now.
Yeah, I got it. So on a 10 or better, choose one. So I have to lose control of myself or my powers in a terrible way because of that using that move.
All right, you could. Oh,
Yeah.
so you do have to do that, yes?
Yeah, if on a 10 or better, you must choose to lose control of yourself in a terrible way.
Okay. All right.
So yeah.
So he tackles you. He puts you down. He says, "Are you okay?" And you hear this golem let out a roar. The child seems to be in some kind of catatonic state.
Uh-oh.
And this golem lets out a painful roar. And candy corn starts being shot like it's coming out of a cannon, like shotgun kind of blast.
Candy corn cannon. Fuck yes!
Boom, boom, and you just hear it like rattling off. And it rips into Mercury, who's in this soft rubber form right now. Mercury lets out a yell and starts flipping through various states of his flesh. First, he actually turns into physical Mercury. He falls onto the grass. Then he turns into something else and starts burning the grass, and the grass catches fire. And then he turns to wood, and he's catching on fire. And then he starts screaming, and it's just his body's cycling faster than he can keep up with. And every time he does a switch, he just makes it worse on himself. So he's sitting there just lighting himself up right now because of the way that candy corn cannon just blasted him and caught him unawares. Who's ready to move next?
I'm going to call up to Gigi and go, "The kid's out. Do your thing." Whatever that thing is, I don't know.
Okay, cool. I go.
And then the panel cuts, and we show a guy getting a little thing of insulin loaded up on the back of a bicycle in Mexico City. and he's pedaling along while he's eating chalupa.
Eating
and
ice
it cuts
cream.
back.
He's eating his ice cream.
Eating an ice cream.
So Gigi goes, "Got it," and he hops onto the platform on the back and sets the bus in autopilot and pulls down. He twists his USB rod and it turns into a grenade launcher. And he pings back to Phobia and says, "Hold him down."
And then I look to Liminal and I go, "Hold him down," because I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Delegating.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So I kind of shoot a glance up at Gigi, like, you better not fucking shoot me. And what am I gonna do to hold this guy down?
Or is there something we can do together somehow? What is your power set
there
again?
totally is. There's totally something we can do together. And you're not gonna like it.
I rarely
Well, that's what the
do.
delinquents do, right?
Yeah,
You have to like
yeah.
it, as long as you come out looking
so
good.
I have team, which is when you use team selfishly, you get to add. I get to add. I clear condition mark potential. I was thinking of the different one, troublemaker, which I don't have. I think I'm still gonna do it anyways. Hey, are you afraid right now, Phobia?
Yes, I sure am.
Okay, well, I can't do that. It's gonna try and make you afraid. I'm wondering if I can use team selfishly to cause Phobia to manifest something I could use to lock this thing down.
All right. Based on your familiarity with Phobia, you know that he pulls in from the fears of those around him. So if maybe you could focus on something that you're afraid of and trick him into manifesting it, that you think could be useful, but you'd be getting into your own damaged psyche
Ooh.
in some ways.
Do you have a fear of heights?
Yeah, but that's not selfish because I'm not putting someone else.
But you're still using him to get what you want.
Yo, dude,
That's
you got a
true.
fear of heights?
No. Liminal definitely doesn't have a fear of heights. He could teleport. He's like, whatever.
Damn.
I'm wondering if like a fear of something stupid that like could be used, like maybe like a giant bouncy house or something like that.
Giant mousetrap.
I like giant mousetrap. Yeah, he's just terrified of mousetraps.
It's that snapping.
Oh, wait. Are you terrified of mouse traps, or are you terrified of what you might find? Like, do dead rodents bother you? Or...
I mean, that's just gross. No, I think like he accidentally stepped on one as a kid, and now it just like has totally irrational fear of them.
There's a scar on his toe that he keeps covering.
Yeah,
I would have went with like claustrophobia because you can't teleport out or something.
Yeah, I was
but
gonna say it
sure,
would have been weird
mousetrap.
if you just like announced over the headset, I wonder what it feels like to be buried alive, and you're like, Phobia's like, why?
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and cause Phobia to manifest a mousetrap I can use to capture this guy. Does that
All right,
work?
go ahead.
Is that too
Why
ridiculous?
not? No, I like it. It's stupid, so it's beautiful.
Yay!
Okay, so what are we doing here to roll?
He's gonna roll on his "Are you looking?" And since he's going to try and maneuver it that way, I think it's a directly engage a threat. But he's cheaply maneuvering your powers to do it.
How about him provoking me
Oh yeah, that
and
works
then me
too.
unleashing?
Okay.
Yeah, that works
Yeah.
too. I like that mechanic better. That's a good idea, Josh.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think that works for me. I'm good with that. Let me find. And I'm
So,
good at provoking.
Yeah, roll to provoke.
When you provoke someone susceptible to your words, you're susceptible to my words because I have that thing.
Influence?
Influence over
Yeah.
you.
It's 14.
So how does that look? Like, how do I make you afraid? What does that look like in terms of like a move?
Well, it doesn't make him afraid. He just feeds off of your fear. Like you dig something up
Yeah.
purposely to make him react to that.
I don't know what to say.
I mean,
to
you could just be
provoke
thinking,
you.
like, it's kind of telepathy for me of, like, getting feelings. So if you just
Yeah.
hone your thinking into a specific fear, it becomes a lot for me.
I like that. And it's like a look too. Like there's a definite look I give you, and it's like a sort of weird side eye.
Mm-hmm.
And I get a 12.
Beautiful.
Damn.
Wow. All right.
Feeling it.
So here's what your choice is then. If you do it, you're going to add a team to the pool. So
Oh, I definitely do it.
yeah, so that puts you guys back up to 2.
Yeah, that hits me in the...
Actually, puts you at 1 because you used the team selfishly, but he puts it right back in. And
so
you burned a team earlier with the assist.
So I get this wave, and I'm like, what is... Really? And I start... I'm like... Okay, we'll talk about that later. And I start to try and manifest the mousetraps. Ooh.
Well, I picture just a larger mousetrap appear and snap
Just a
off
big
this,
one?
Yeah, just a larger one, and it just snaps off when it closes, it snaps off the bottom 2 legs that are left that it was standing on, and it just leans over and falls towards Mercury, who's still flashing through,
Struggling.
struggling.
And to be clear, I got a 10 on that unleash powers.
Right. And we see it just, this candy, what's left of it, just break apart and smash onto Mercury, covering him. It's enough to knock you out of your crazy phasing, but it has put you roll to take a powerful blow for this one.
All right.
We're gonna see if it just snaps you out of it, maybe knocks you unconscious, whatever.
I got a 7.
Good. lash out verbally at one of your teammates. Give ground. There's no more fight. You've pretty much eliminated this thing. Or struggle past that pain and mark 2 conditions.
Oh man, I guess I'll take some conditions there.
You can take conditions, or you can lash out verbally to the one that caused this and have them mark a condition as well.
Yeah, actually, yeah. I'm gonna lash out at Phobia. Yeah.
Ooh,
Damn it!
Phobia
This is
did it.
twice in one night. You don't pay attention, and you always forget about my dad being dead, and now you're throwing this candy crap on top of me.
Ooh.
Get your shit under control.
I'm gonna let you choose. Are you feeling insecure after that one, or are you feeling hopeless after that one?
I am feeling. I mean, it's making me feel guilty as hell.
All right, I can see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel
Guilty?
super duper guilty because I'm putting my friend through hell. Yeah.
Drama bomb.
Yeah. As the mousetraps went.
Well played, Paul. I just want to give you a.
Yeah, whatever else I was doing, like Fear was, and trying to pick up everyone else's emotions, I get blanked out for a minute, and I start being very introspective, which is dangerous for me.
So this candy golem has pretty much been eliminated. There's a mess in this backyard, but you've, give or take what usually happens in these fights, you've kept the damage to a minimum in that neighborhood. You even kept the Chihuahua safe. Nothing happened to the boy.
I think Celsius is going to run with the kid now, dropping all shields and whatever, and try to get to an ambulance to be like, take care of the squishy.
As you come running around the corner with the child, the mother's like looking at you and just waving this little pouch.
Okay, I'm going to run toward... I don't know if I would know what that means.
But you make the connection that mom.
Okay.
Son, you've seen
Moms are important.
Yes.
I'm going to go run this kid over.
She has 10 gold pieces for you.
To his mother.
And so...
Nice.
Yes, treasure.
You lay him down, and she takes off her like little denim jacket and puts it under his head, and then you see her just pull out her little kit, and she's starting to test blood sugar, and the medical team's moving in, and you see him just measure out the insulin dose, give it to the kid, and he just pretty much wakes up. He's like, Mom? Johnny Werther, what have I told you about eating candy uncontrolled? And I'm sorry, Mom, did I hurt anybody? And she's like, no. And she's like, and she kind of looks at Celsius and everybody else, and she's like, these wonderful kids showed up and saved the day, and we should really thank them for that. Since you're standing right there, Celsius, you have an adult who's complimenting you and telling you that you did a good job. I think she's shifting your labels a little bit.
Oh.
I think she's moving your... let me find it real quick. I think she's moving your savior up.
Oh.
And you're not... So what's your mundane at?
I'm at a -2.
You're at a -2?
I'm
She's
me.
She's moving your freak down a little bit. You're not so much as you're not a freak anymore.
Mhm.
You're a freak who saves people.
As she's doing this, I don't think I really know how to take it. So I'm just like staring at her and the kid. And I look around at my teammates and I go, anytime.
Yeah, as the mom said, these wonderful people, Gigi was on the spaceship and kind of put the grenade launcher behind his back. We did it, guys! Little upset he didn't get to blow anything up, but yeah.
The compliment didn't even land with me. Also, side note, chat caught on what I also caught on to. Is their last name Werther? Like
Yes.
Werther's original?
Johnny Werther.
Also
God,
a terrible
fucking
kid.
amazing.
Damn it.
No, that's Werther Jr. The dad's the Werther original.
Yes!
Dear Christ.
Yes!
That's
I'm
amazing.
proud of you.
I'm going to take 20 seconds to grab a beverage and be right back before we move on.
Cool.
Yeah, I will do the same.
Cool.
All right.
Me too.
Well, in the side notes, since I'm going to be sitting here, Celeste, you can go. I got this. So for those who are watching who may be from the different shows or whatever, again, Celeste and Paul. Celeste is the DM for the Venture Maidens. Paul is the person who does the narration in the beginning of every episode. Bucky and I are from Taking Initiative. Loren is the DM, or GM rather, the MC for the Masks podcast Nerds on a Roll, part of the Spark Network. So he is normally behind the screen for that. Their season finale just came out, so you have a completed story that you can listen to right now. Also, if you play Idle Champions, you can listen to episode 44 of our podcast and get a free gold chest. Just listen to the beginning and get a free key code. It's within the first 3 minutes of the episode, so get a pen and paper ready and do it like the old school radio show decoder things. Other than that, Podcast of Waterdeep was a little while ago. The full 10 episodes are out, so hop over to the Wizards of the Coast Dungeon Delve feed to listen to those. I was the co-writer and co-planner for that, and we had a couple of great podcasts involved, including Taking Initiative and the Venture Maidens. Celeste also joined me for the finale episode, which we were joined by Loren, or Oboe Crazy, Matthew Lillard, Holly Conrad, and it was DM'd by Aram Vartian of Godsfall. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff that's out. If you want to catch stuff that we do outside of work, I'm also the online editor for Blue Bloods and the Purge TV show. So you can catch my work in there. Bucky also works with me in post-production, and he makes sure all of our stuff works good.
Yeah, I fix all the machines.
Yeah, which is helpful. It's very, very helpful.
Yeah.
I think I'm out of things to plug, and Lauren's late, so I'm just going to blame him for the fact that I'm out of stuff.
Loren.
Yeah. He's not here to know that I'm blaming him about it. No one will tell him about it.
Yeah.
No one.
Thank you so much again.
May I make a tiny plug then?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, Corpses and Curios, we're a horror-based actual play podcast, modern horror. But if you're liking the spirit of Halloween, we just released as a bonus episode our little spoopy Halloween spectacular, which has cast member from Drew from TI Pod was on it, and a couple of other new faces that you should get to know. And it's just as funny, crazy, and wild, and it's a completely different adventure. So if you're looking for more Halloween fun, check that one out. I'm going to just try and get all 3 dropped within the October. No saying of when it occurs, but I'll be releasing them at random.
Cool. All right.
Chat's telling me you guys are talking shit. What's going on?
I ran out of things to plug and you weren't back yet, so I just blamed you for the fact I didn't have anything else.
We've just been spreading rumors about you.
That's fair. I mean, they're all probably true.
I also said that I didn't say it, but I'm saying it now, you're a wonderful GM, and people should listen to Nerds on Roll for your wonderful GMing.
Oh, thank you. I'm a horribly awkward player, as we've all learned tonight.
You're fine. You're good.
You know, we're teenagers, so
yeah.
It works.
Yeah, you're all horribly awkward.
Yep. All 30 years of my life. That's
ice cream.
Yep.
Ice cream tacos.
Yes.
So Gigi is still jumping back into it. Gigi is up there sitting on the bus with the grenade launcher, and he still has the police waves tuned in to what was going on, because I believe Mercury hacked it to pick up the police waves, and it's still some of the technology is still in effect, even though he managed to shut himself down for a split second. And coming over the radio waves, you hear something that there's been an odd theft at the Natural History Museum. That it's not really being investigated by the police, but Aegis has shown up on the scene, which is really odd, because why would Aegis be involved in a theft? A simple theft, even if it's like artwork or anything else like that, but is really being kept hush about what seems to have been taken. And they're trying to keep it under wraps. And he's like, I just can't say any more about it, but this 220 breaking, entering, and theft is yeah, not our business anymore, boys. So let's go out to patrolling, and keeping an eye on the kids, keeping it a safe night. I guess they wrapped up that situation over in the village. I heard some supers showed up, or some capes showed up and took care of business out there. So it's not a bad night for a full moon. Everything seems to be per usual.
Do you think that one has ghosts?
I don't know. Mercury
Maybe.
is just like angrily eating candy off of the ground. For the
Oh, there's still some left that's like completely scoopable and salvageable.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So he loads up like an arm full of it and is just angrily snacking on whatever.
Well, you said you like the black licorice, and you could find this black licorice like tentacle that's probably about, as thick as a 750 milliliter bottle, and at least like 6 yards long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's got that slung over his shoulder and is hate eating this licorice right now. Just taking huge bites of it. His mouth like distends a little bit with each bite. Because he's mad at the situation. He's mad at himself for lashing out.
Is Celsius watching him eat this?
I think, she will. Absolutely. But now I just realized Celsius is like covered in sticky half melted candy. Like that is what she looks like right now. Yeah. So I think she's, absolutely invested in you eating this giant licorice piece.
Since you were heating up before, did your cardboard box costume get like...
Oh, it definitely
destroyed?
burned
Burned
off. See, I can't wear anything, so I guess Celsius is probably sad and maybe picking some candy.
I take off my cardboard helmet and I give it to you, and I just sulk off back to the car, and I switch my playlist over to Ninja Sex Party for some happier tunes.
Are you sure you don't need it? It's okay.
I'm fine. I'm fine. You did good work.
Hey. You're awesome.
Comfort and support. I think we're already going in that direction.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So Celeste, roll comfort and support, and if you fail, I would think that I hit play before you said anything.
Okay. Oh, I did great. So I actually also, as a newborn, when I comfort and support people, I roll with plus freak instead of mundane, which is great. So I got a 10 on that, and I want to put my hand out like on your shoulder and be like, listen,
I take an earbud out. Yeah.
What you do is really, really special, and I know it's hard to control sometimes, but you do a great job.
I look down at the ground. I look back over to you, and I give like a hug, and then
So sticky.
I don't even care. I give you a hug. I go. All right.
She's like, I think I'm attached. Just give me like one. Yep. Okay.
Right.
And I'm just gonna forcibly push you away.
Or like I'm stuck, and then like I just lift my legs off the ground, and you just walk with me, and I'm just still kind of.
And I'm like,
hugging.
oh.
I just sigh. I'm like
to pull you guys apart.
Yeah. I just sigh out of like, I guess, fine, okay, sure. This is just what it is. Because you covered and supported.
Right. So on a hit, they hear you.
Okay.
You can mark potential. You can clear a condition, or shift your own labels if you open up to her.
I'm going to clear my. I don't want to clear guilty because she's not helping me with the problem I had with Kyle. But I'm going to take off afraid because I feel more supported by my friends that if things do go bad, we can still get things done.
And since she had a 10 plus, Celeste, you can mark or you can add a team to the pool or clear one of your own conditions.
I don't have any conditions, so I will add one to the pool.
Hey, team pool is back up to 2.
And also because I have an ability called Thermodynamic Miracle, so when I comfort or support somebody by telling them what makes them special, I shift up my freak and my mundane down.
But your mundane's at...
It's already maxed. but I
Yeah.
guess my freight goes back up to 2.
I don't. Yeah. So you are able to shift the label. Okay.
Yeah. Because I embrace my weird. And you should too. Sticky hug.
I have to listen because I'm stuck. So I just listen to the comfort and support.
GG, are you gonna let this sticky mess onto the bus?
Absolutely not. But Celsius can fly, so it doesn't matter.
I'm just
I
gonna.
can fly.
So I'm basically sitting on the bus now. I ended up flipping the grenade launcher back to the USB rod, and I stick it in my pocket. And I'm sitting on the bus listening to the police scanner, and I go, "Hey guys, we got a weird call here on the police scanner. Aegis is apparently checking out a theft."
Good. Then we don't have to.
What he said. This sucked.
Right, but it's a theft. Why would Aegis be on call for a theft?
You bring up a good point.
And it's also in the Natural History Museum.
I like that place.
It's a good place.
Yeah. I like the dinosaur bones exhibit. It's pretty nice.
The Hall of Gems is my favorite.
Ooh, yeah, that is a good one. Yeah.
Nice.
There's a lot
They have good Wi-Fi. That much I know.
There's a lot of cool stuff to steal and smash there if nobody's paying attention.
Well, if we
Okay,
go,
so we're going.
can
Who you
someone?
gonna call?
I mean, I just brought it up. I mean, if you guys want to go, maybe we can go to the Natural History Museum. We can go check out
If
the
you
Hall
don't
of Gems.
want,
and
I'll
the
still
dinosaurs.
railroad it in the direction I want this thing to go. So you make the decision. This is a shared narrative.
Well, there.
GG. If I miss this opportunity to introduce Celsius to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, it's on you.
Okay. How about this? You get on the bus.
It's only 9:30. We got.
You
two
can
and a half
TP the
hours.
city from above.
And she's also
Okay.
not old enough to watch that yet. She's within a year old.
We'll be back in time for that. But
I'm
you
8
can
months
T-
old.
In the
We're
meantime,
educating her on the classics. All right.
we'll be back in time for that. But in the meantime, you can TP Halcyon City from the sky.
2.5 hours. And yes, I am doing that.
All right.
I
Let's
have
roll.
another condition. I'm
Okay.
stuck. Can someone help me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna like
Okay.
spray you with one of the canisters, and like the cloud of nanites just eats away all the sticky crap.
Very cool.
Ooh.
Mm.
Tickles.
I go. Floop.
Mercury will use his technopathy, and then as they absorb all the sugar, he's gonna hijack them and basically then absorb all of them. Kind of go like Kirby for a moment and just and inhale.
The more
all of
efficient
them.
way to eat.
Those things
Nice.
aren't cheap, you know.
Yeah, I know.
But they
But
make
I-
more, right?
You
Yeah,
can make more.
replicate. Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody get on the bus.
All right.
On the bus.
I'll fly behind the bus.
So we see a panel. The next is you guys sail by the moon again, creating a theme. You know, like the ET Halloween theme, where it's like the full moon and the bus goes this way now.
And then lagging behind is Celsius.
Yeah.
In my cloud of hot
And you
air
just see
for
drip-
pulling myself.
Drip from the sticky candy that's like she's melting off of her, like the rest of the bits that are melting off.
I asked you guys to hold my robot costume in the car so I can just melt.
Oh, I think maybe you just kind of like fly by the moon and do like a real quick supernova burst, just like pretty much.
And a whole dozen eggs fall.
Yay!
We see
They're all
eggs in the
fried,
toilet
though,
paper
but-
flying off the back of the bus. And, like,
Oh,
the
yeah.
whole time.
Liminal's definitely in the back, just like throwing all the shit off of the platform.
We get a panel of like two cops sitting there drinking coffee, and like they're like, "Well, everything's quiet, Steve." Yeah, Jake, and then all of a sudden, like 7 eggs hit their windshield.
It's all in one spot.
I need
good.
to move back to Hoboken. So you arrive and it catches you off guard because it's not like a typical Aegis reaction where they set up the perimeter and they wait for the capes to complete everything before moving in. You notice it is just one of their unmarked black vans pulled up to the garage underground parking entrance to the museum. And the lights are out and it's shut down. And usually there's some kind of like Halloween exhibit going on where it's like, you know, you walk through and they dress the dinosaur bones up in spooky costumes, or they do like mummy tours or something like that. But it's quiet and it's shut down. And you can see that there's people outside just kind of milling about, wondering what's going on inside. And the police have blocked it off, but whoever's inside is investigating something.
Can I walk up to that black van?
I was waiting for it.
Nobody's in it.
Oh, I was gonna knock on the. Okay. All right.
Celsius wags her
Even
eyebrows
better.
at you.
Even better, nobody's
car.
in. No.
A car with no one in it.
Can Mercury will go boop boop and try and make the doors unlock.
You just kind of touch it, you get a feeling for it, and you even do that like just with your thumb and finger and go
Yeah.
boop boop, and the doors go all unlock.
So whistling, just nonchalant, I throw open the back doors and climb in.
Cool.
Mhm.
You see a bunch of, and this throws you completely because you're used to Aegis dealing with technology and capes and superheroes and that kind of thing, and the hoods and the villains and all modernized. In the back seem to be a bunch of old books, necromancy books on necromancy and magic, arcane drawings, symbols, other things like that. This seems to be a wing of Aegis that you've heard whispered about, but have never realized that it fully exists. They've always denied it exists, but you've heard underground murmurings about magic and the occult response team.
Okay. Just
Wait,
toss
hold
the
on.
books.
There's a great acronym here. I got to finish it out.
Ghosts.
Magic, occult, response,
Oh, I'm already there.
team.
The Wizards and Necromancers division? Wand?
I was going with Mortis. We'll just call it Mortis, and we'll fill in what IS fills out. But it's called the Mortis Division, Magic Occult Response Team. Insurgency.
Intelligence and surveillance.
Yes, intelligence and surveillance. There we go. I like
Nice.
that.
Nice.
You can jot that one down too, Loren.
We'll use them.
Mortis.
So, Magic Occult Response Team, Intelligence. And what was the S?
Surveillance.
Surveillance.
Intelligence and Surveillance. There we go. Yeah, so you've just stumbled upon a Mortis fan.
Just tossing the books to the side. Crap, useless, fake. I can't even read that one.
That's in Latin.
Do any of them have pictures?
That's in Latin.
Start flipping through 'em.
Don't read the Latin.
I helpfully inform you.
Necronomicon Ex Mortis.
Gigi, with these books, do you recognize any of this from your time in the deep dark web?
Well, let's see if I can open a Wikipedia page. And I'm gonna try and research these books on Goodreads.
Most quoted lines from Necronomicon.
If you want to use your belong in two worlds power or whatever to assess
Yeah.
the situation that you used earlier, I'm sure you
I'll
could
try
probably
to.
make something happen.
Yeah, let's see if I can make that happen. Boop. Oh, damn. That's a 13.
Okay.
Okay, so 1-for-1 or PC finally consult your people's knowledge to ask the GM a question about the current situation.
All right.
All right, so is there, looking at a lot of the knowledge, like referencing maybe some of the more weathered books, or if they have like any books that are out in like
There-
about a specific topic?
Yeah. Okay. So you look about and you see that most of it in here in this van for right now is looking at Gaelic mythology and the festival of Samhain.
I'm gonna pull up the Wikipedia page on that and see what it says.
All right. So you pull it up and you just kind of like do the quick once over on it. Samhain is basically known as a harvest festival. It was celebrated in Gaelic times, and it's, to make a long story short, it was basically the harvest season getting ready for the winter, and it was also known as the night of the year when the veil between the other world became the thinnest, allowing for spirits and the dead to communicate with the living, and also possibly for things to cross over. Samhain was also a time for sacrifice, to give thanks for the harvest ahead, and also to prepare for the winter months.
Sounds fine.
Yeah, I relay that to the team, and I go, "Yeah, that's what that's about."
We should
Yeah,
go
so-
inside.
You should also have some questions as well open to you to ask, because you did make your roll.
Yeah.
That's that. I'm just giving you
So-
the basic information that you have access to.
Okay. So given that, ask the GM a question about the current situation. So given that we may be dealing with spirits of some sort, potentially, is there something that we can utilize in this van, or something that we have that we can engage this potential threat with?
Okay, what here is useful to me? There's actually a book, and with a little bit of work, you could probably translate it because it's written in Gaelic. And usually it's an oral tradition, but it's a book that's written in Gaelic. That, from what you can make, just popping back and forth between Wikipedia and like Google Translate and stuff like that.
Yep.
Is actually dealing with the mythology of it. And you think in the back of your head, you get a little ping that this book might be a little bit useful for answers later on.
All right, so I take that book with me, and I go, we should probably get inside.
Yep. And you also see as you're stepping off the van, since you rolled so well, you also see a newspaper turn to a page, open to a page. It's like basically your Halcyon City newspaper. One of the things that was being displayed tonight were bog bodies. It was the largest collection and display of bog bodies. Has anybody ever heard of a bog body?
Zombies.
No,
Mummies.
No, this is even better, and I'm going to read it word for word from the Wikipedia page. Now, a bog body is a human cadaver that has been naturally mummified in a peat bog. Such bodies, sometimes known as bog people, are both geographically and chronologically widespread, have been dated between 8000 BCE and the Second World War. The unifying factor of bog bodies is that they have been found in peat and are partially preserved. However, the actual levels of preservation vary widely, from perfectly preserved to mere skeletons. Unlike most ancient human remains, bog bodies often retain their skin and internal organs due to the unusual conditions of the surrounding area. These conditions include highly acidic water and low temperature, and a lack of oxygen, which combine to preserve and severely tan the skin. While the skin is well preserved, the bones are generally not, due to the acid in the peat having dissolved the calcium phosphate of the bone.
I pick up that newspaper and I go, guys, things are about to get, and then I manifest a pair of sunglasses onto my face and I say, supernatural, because we're superheroes.
I hate you.
Yeah, we should get inside. There's ghosts and shit in there.
Mhm.
Yep.
Oh,
Celeste,
Celeste,
you're
you're
muted. Good face.
You're still muted. Can't hear you.
Nope.
Okay.
Mercury just pointed at Celsius and went boop boop.
As we get out of the van, I make sure to lock it back up after we're done with it.
Very good idea.
Yeah.
They might not notice the book in the newspaper gone for too long.
Mm-hmm.
So are you
There's no
going
one
into
in it. Who's
How we
gonna
going-
notice?
Well, when they come back. So how are we making our way inside? What's
Oh, I gotta move for this.
okay.
Criminal mind. I'm gonna assess the situation, and I get to ask, what is the best way in, even on a failure. So I'm gonna assess the situation. I think.
Beautiful.
I'm like teleporting around, just boom, 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 kind of going to all these different like vantage points. Like pop in next to a cop and grab some donuts off his cop car. Hey, evening, officer. Take a bite and then like boof out, and then like grab some candy out of a kid's bag. Who's like passing by on the street, just trying to get different vantage points. Well, I got a 7, plus my superior, which is 2, so 9.
Okay. He could get a 10 if he wants to either selfishly or somebody wants to help him in a way.
Does anyone want to help? I don't think I can. I don't think I could be selfish here. I could, but I don't. This is a waste of being selfish.
I guess I can try to kind of reach out for different people's feelings to try and see where the perimeter is and where some bodies are to give him some direction of where to go.
May I add something? I hate to interject stuff.
By
but
all
no,
means,
it looks
go
like
ahead.
Mercury has an idea, but
Can I get a feel for the security system that's there? How it's
Yes.
wired up.
There you go.
And
awesome. I
where
love it.
there are locks, where there are sensors, things like that.
Oh, I think you pretty much just like plug in, get a blueprint and a layout, and let him know where it's going. And if you want to spend the team from the pool, that makes it a 10 for him.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
Yes.
you're good now.
Okay. All right. My mic just stopped working for a bit. So
It's all right. So yeah, is that what you want to do? You want to bump it up to a 10 then? Sounds
Yeah,
hot.
let's
I
do it.
like that. So now you have 3 questions, don't you there?
I do. So my first one is going to be, what's the best way in?
The best way in without triggering anything off, since you know that Mercury can pretty much turn on and turn off any security system right now. The sneakiest way in and the most that would draw the least amount of attention would be to a skylight over an area where you see the researchers. They are inside of the area of the bog body displays, and they're all empty.
Okay.
Every single one of them, over 300 bog bodies are gone.
That's a lot.
no.
That's a whole lot of
A
bugs.
whole
A
lot.
lot of dead bodies.
Are you sure you
I
read your
may-
notes correctly? 'Cause
300?
Over 300 bog bodies.
Zombies. Okay.
All of them are some of the best preserved from the Scotland and Ireland peat bogs, home of the festival in which Sam Hain originated.
So there's Scottish zombies too, as well.
Well, Scottish, Irish,
Oh,
English,
no.
that whole
Irish
area
zombies.
where they and some of like the Germany area back when that whole the pagans used to celebrate Sam Hain.
They're gonna storm the city and make everybody listen to their bagpipes. No, we must stop them.
That's what it is. It's
my
300 bagpipers.
300
Oh,
bagpipers.
God.
You know what? That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, there's like 200. There's like just 2 Aegis agents in there, just pretty much like taking pictures and notes and looking around what's going on. But the best entrance would be through the skylight.
All right. My second question is, what here is the biggest threat?
The biggest threat you think would be they're trying to
300 missing bog bodies.
Yeah, the Aegis agents are trying to keep it low key, and I think the biggest threat would be letting Aegis know that you're watching as well.
All righty. I kind of want to be the delinquent here and use my third to
Of course
ask,
you do, and that's why.
how could I best infuriate or provoke those Aegis agents?
Oh boy.
The best way to do it would just be to let them know that you're here.
Cool. So I think with that, again, impatient, tired of this, really getting mad that he didn't get to go raise some hell on Halloween, Liminal just like bamfs into that room where they're taking the pictures. And like he did with the cop, just kind of standing next to the Aegis agent who's taking pictures, he pulls out his phone and just like starts clicking. He's like, "So what's the situation? Do we got it under control? You guys need help? What's going on tonight?"
Better yet, I get this thing where they're about to take a picture of an empty display case, and just as they press the button to like take the picture, your guy bamfs in there like.
Yes, exactly.
Oh god.
Beautiful.
Teleporting photo bomb.
You just like photo bombed Mortis. And you know, because they're people who are known for their joyful appreciation of things, they're just like, oh, you're not supposed to be here.
I'm not supposed to be a lot of places.
We know. So what are you doing here?
Oh, man, you guys are a barrel of fun. What are you doing here?
Work. Shouldn't you be out trick-or-treating, maybe going around and getting some candy? You've got no business here. There's nothing for you to worry about. Get your crew and go smash buildings while he's shifting your labels. He's telling you you're a kid who has no business being here, but you are a delinquent, so you're of course going to fight back against that.
Oh, of course I'm trying to reject that.
Oh yeah. So I think he's he's trying to move your superior down and your mundane up.
I'm going to try and resist. So that's just 2d6. I got a 6 and a 3, so that's a 9.
All right. What is it? Immediately act to prove them wrong, right?
That depends. When you reject and 7-9, choose one. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, my choice. Cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. I'm canceling their influence and taking +1 forward against them.
Oh, all right. So yeah, they get the idea real quick that you're not leaving.
Yeah. No, there's really nothing I'd love more than to be out raising a little hell tonight. Note to self, introduce Celsius to Hellraiser.
I'd be out raising hell, but it seems like hell is trying to raise itself right now.
Oh, okay. So now we're talking. Got it. All right. Yeah. So we're here. We already cleaned up one mess tonight, and I guess we're doing another one. So you can fill me in, and we can move this along, or you can keep being weird and creepy, taking pictures of empty cases, and we'll go back to the van and keep studying all the stuff you got stuffed in there.
Ooh, I love that.
So I'm going to provoke him, I think. Does that count?
You know what? I don't think you're provoking him. I think he's impressed. I think he is briefly impressed because you've pretty much proven that his influence and badge means nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of puts it down. He kind of lowers the camera and he looks at you and he goes, "You know what, kid?" He goes, "You kind of remind me of me when I was your age." He goes, "You're kind of," he looks around and he goes, "You're kind of into this stuff, aren't you?"
You could teleport and made nanomachines?
Well, you kind of remind me of me. But either way,
impressed.
Who you with? Get him in here. Because
you guys are pushovers. Hey, everybody. Yeah. Okay.
Keep it low key for me, please.
I'm gonna say, what am I gonna call them? Yeah. Officer Weakwill and Officer Spineless say that we need to get in here and help him out.
Celsius wants to grab the radio and be like, "Does the T-Rex have a witch hat on?"
I spray paint my nanomachines into a witch hat for the T-Rex. Yes, it does.
I'm so there.
Celsius goes bursting through the wall.
Oh no.
I'm running in there.
All right. You guys.
Mercury goes up to try and unlock the door. He like presses his finger against the lock on it, and his
backfire entrance. You disable the alarm. You guys just kind of like all walk in, and then other than the empty display cases, Celsius, the dinosaur exhibit, is one more over. Dinosaur bones. They're all dressed as like jesters and knights and witches and warlocks, and
she is so conflicted about going immediately to go help Caspian because he asked her to, but also going to go see that instead. It's very hard, but she will make the friendship choice and walk and just like slinks past the door to the dinosaur exhibit and like keeps walking.
As you're slinking past that, there's another display of how the Aztecs did it. Human sacrifice.
That's also so. Why haven't I been here? What is this place?
Did we just never take you to the museum?
No.
We're terrible.
No,
you're better off with the lab rats.
Showing her bad movies.
I've watched so many bad movies though.
Because it's the documentaries about how human life really works, right?
Yeah.
I work on that. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
And so the Aegis agent is like, kind of eyeballs you, and he's like, "I'm trying to work with you, kid. If you can just can the derogatory statements and the attitude."
Mercury goes up to him and says, which one of you is Officer Spineless?
Yes, my man. I love Mercury. I love my robot friends.
Yay!
He says, "I was going to share something with you, but I'll let you figure it out yourself. Somebody take a look around and tell me what's wrong."
There's a bunch of bog bodies missing, and also
that's
something with the Sean
evident.
Hayne.
That's
incident.
evident.
Are the cases
Take a look
broken?
around. Yes,
Are
they
the cases okay, they are broken. All right.
Do they look broken from the inside or the outside?
And he smiles, the Aegis agent, and you can see that they were broken from the inside going out.
I would put that under the list of problematic.
Problem.
Yep.
One.
Yep.
Is there any sign of the direction where these things went?
Well, you have to, when I read off the definitions of the bog bodies, you got to remember that they have no bone structure. They're just mostly skin and internal organs. And as you look around, you can see that some of the glass shards and maybe some of the stuff used to preserve the bodies has kind of flaked off, and they've crawled off into various directions. They've gone out windows, they've gone into ventilation shafts, they've gone like squeezed under, like they've basically taken any kind of exit that they could make their way out of without triggering off any alarms or triggering any movement sensors, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's not good. So when you guys are here taking pictures, is Aegis doing anything to track these things down and stop them? What's up?
Right now, I'm sure you know that we're with Mortis.
Yep.
Right now, we're keeping it low key, and we're just trying to keep our eyes and ears open about what's going on around the city.
Gotcha.
But
So the
as far as
slow.
like where they are and what they're doing, we have no idea.
Okay. You have any leads?
No, not at this time. Other than, and he stops and he thinks for a second. And he's like, well, they're all tied together. And he goes, let me show you something. And he kind of like reaches into a leather satchel next to him, and he pulls open a like a history book that he starts flipping towards. And he's like, in the early festivals of Samhain, they engaged in human sacrifice at times. And all of these bog bodies were discovered, and this is unique about all of them, with some kind of rope or something securing their hands behind their backs, securing their arms, their legs, it seems like all of these bog bodies were tied to sacrifice.
Okay.
I just made masks really dark, didn't I?
I'm down with it. The
Oh, boy.
Hellboy version. I'm cool with it. Okay.
So where would a bunch of, well, not so dead things go if they were upset about being sacrificed?
Who would have been sacrificing them? Just everybody else other than them? Or who would make that? Who chooses to get sacrificed?
Well, based on the information that Gigi pulled up, it was known that like even like in order to ensure thanks for good harvest and stuff like that, that even a king or a leader would choose to sacrifice themselves. It was a thing to show thanks for the harvest, depending on how bountiful it was.
Mhm.
So it
was voluntary.
sometimes it was voluntary, sometimes it wasn't, but
Okay, well, we clearly need to find where all these things went before, well, things get worse.
The
And
books.
squishy.
The books that are hypothetically in your van, if we were to look into it, were they yours or did you find them?
they're ours.
Okay, that's good.
They're books that we don't want to let fall into the wrong hands. And how do you know about those, by the way?
I just took a guess. Thank you for confirming my suspicions.
As Gigi finishes taking all the pictures of the Gaelic book and goes, all right, you can have this back now.
I straighten my robot costume and look at him very seriously. Well, perhaps we can do some tracking of our own. We can fly.
And Agent Spineless pulls out a card. And he's kind of he's mulling over which one to hand it to.
There's no good answer.
No,
Gigi
I'm
has a
just
big smile on
smiling
his face.
so big.
and he looks, believe it or not, he looks at Celsius and he says, you seem to be the one that would make the best decision. So if anything happens involving this situation here, find a way to call me. And he hands Celsius the business card.
I will, Mr. Spineless. Thank you. Thank you so much. No, with no, because that's the only thing he's been called this whole time. She thinks that is his name, honestly.
We're going to take some more pictures and look around, and if there's any way for us to get in contact with you, please provide it.
Do we have a card? I look hopefully at all of you.
Card back to him.
Yeah.
Gigi, do we have a website that we manage?
Yeah, I manage it regularly. Yes. It is, what's our team name?
That's a very good question. Let's see.
What is your team name?
Robot Hyperforce.
Robot Hyperforce.
I absolutely wanted to be that, and Caspian is very against it.
Team Flying Unicorn Punch.
That's
Team
absolutely
RHF.
a Celsius
It's
thing.
rhf.super.com.
Yeah.
rhf.super.com.
Yeah. TeamSuper.com.
Robot Hyperforce at super.
Robot Hyperforce.
.com.
.super.com.
We only actually contain one robot. Like everyone else is some sort of quasi-technology thing, but only one robot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she also suggested the name.
I like it. Don't get me wrong, I love it.
That name is better than no name.
But she's so congenial that everybody assumes it like she's the leader, whether she's the leader or not, for like the small things that you've had going on.
She takes his card and she's like, "Thank you, I will treasure this," and she eats it.
Yes.
Mercury snaps his fingers.
The second card comes out and it gets handed to Gigi.
I add it immediately to my phone.
Yeah, Mercury snaps his fingers, and in their phones, the contact information for Robot Hyperforce at super.com, gets inserted. There's a contact entry made, and all of the...
And we each have our own bio page on the website.
All right.
It has a picture of us.
You just pretty much like update everybody like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mercury. I'm not quite sure. You have some cool powers. I'm not sure the extent of them. If we can look around and get some traces of these creatures, could you sample their biology for us to track further?
I think I can do that.
I can try and
I can
make
try.
something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the way I like the way this is going.
Yeah. So okay, let's find some of the residue.
Alright.
Yeah. Some of their if skin has flaked off or something like that.
All right. I think since you're trying to expand your powers in a way, I think we're going to go with unleash your powers to see if you can make something happen. And since Gigi's trying to you're trying to create
I was going to use my alien tech ability to basically alter a human device and kind of create a tracker.
Okay. Let's have Mercury roll to unleash the powers.
All right. Hey, that's a good one. And I get to add my freak. Oh, hell yeah. 15, baby.
Ooh, holy
No.
balls.
14. Sorry.
Still, holy balls.
Yeah.
So describe how you isolate these.
So he finds some like a flake of skin and some other stuff, and so he like starts to gather it up and begins focusing on it intently in his hands, and his hands begin to become that substance in its state. So his hands are transforming into this. It looks like he now is growing the skin of like a bog person. And it's like expanding over his hands. So he manages to do that, and then sort of just extends one towards you, Gigi.
Okay,
Maybe a little bit too close in your face.
You give him about a hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And then just shove it in his face.
all right, so
There
you
you go.
reach out with your hand and reaches out to Gigi. Just your character.
Yeah.
Going into his makeup a little bit and what he's about. What does he think or know about Halloween or the Festival of Samhain, other than what he's read? How does he feel about it?
Halloween is not a very pleasant time for Gigi, given that he is from a survival horror type game. A lot of this like talk of the dead coming back to life and things like that is kind of like sitting in his head as a reminder of the life that he kind of escaped from, where he would constantly have to fight and be killed by horrible creatures all the time.
Ooh, yes.
So he's not really feeling Halloween, since it's all about creepy and horror and all these things. And ever since he came back to the world, Halloween's his kind of reminder of that past he left behind. That's still calling out to him in some way.
As Mercury has reassembled and replicated this bog creature out of the available materials in the area, and he reaches out the hand to you, you see this glove that he's created kind of rip from his skin, jump at you, and wrap around your face. Whack! And it seems
to happen.
and it seems to be trying to work its way into your mouth and your ears and your eyes, and it's just kind of like, ah!
No. Oh, God. I'll immediately try and I'll grab my USB rod and I'll twist it and turn it into a laser sword and start trying to like carve this thing off of my face. What can I do for that? Oh, did he just freeze?
Yeah, I think Chris just froze.
Oh yeah.
I think he just froze.
Yeah, I think so too.
No.
That's just his face.
With a very sinister grin on.
Yeah, he's got the.
It is.
There we go.
Oh, you're back.
There we go.
So yeah, I try and twist my USB rod into like a laser knife or a laser sword and start trying to carve this thing off of my face.
Okay, it's just a small portion. It's just about a hand-sized thing. So yeah, you managed to like cut away at it and get it off of your face, and still manage to keep some of the pieces from being dissolved. But it just scared, pretty much jump scared the shit out of you.
Yeah, no. Gigi's not doing good now because that was an immediate
You know what?
reminder of that shit.
I think it's a very emotional experience for you based on your background. So I want you to take a powerful blow with that one. It's an emotional trigger for you.
That is a. I have no conditions marked. That's a 5.
It's a 5. All right. Mark potential.
Sweet.
And like you said, you weather the blow by just pretty much whoa, and then turning into the little laser device and cutting it off your skin. But as you cut it away, you can see that like the little flakes that are left are still on the ground and moving and twitching a bit.
All right, I'm gonna grab a. Gigi always keeps a couple like burner phones on him at all times because he can interface with them and turn them into cool technology stuff. And I'm going to use my alien tech ability to try and turn one of these cell phones into a tracking device by inserting the DNA into it and seeing if we can locate it in the area.
Nice.
And that is a... Oh, damn. Okay. That's a plus freak, which is +1. That's a 10.
Beautiful.
Okay. So on a 10 plus, so I see... Okay, when you alter a human device with your alien technology, roll plus freak. On a hit, you create a device that can do something impossible once and then fizzle. When you roll a 10 plus, choose 1. It works exceptionally well, or I get additional use out of it. I'm going to say it works exceptionally well.
Oh, yes, it does. Because you don't focus on the DNA of the bog body. You focus on the chemical makeup based on the regions and the peat moss that it's been laying in. So you're able to track all of them and their movements if you stay high enough above the city. And right now, as you activate the device, you can see that they've spread out from the central location of the museum out into the community. Like they've all gone in different directions.
Uh-oh.
We should share this information with Aegis. They have a lot more resources than just the 5 of
I know.
us.
Come on, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to turn to the 2 Aegis agents and be like, this is where they're going.
And they go,
Get on this fast.
This is bad. Do you have another one of those?
This is the only one I got. I could try and make another one if you want.
They go, please tell us you still have our card.
We do.
Well, we have to get back to the van. We'll call you. And they both just start packing up their stuff and getting ready to like head out.
All right, guys, we gotta get up high so we can spot these things.
If
Can
only
I
we had a flying
give
bus.
a link to the readout, like in our contact information, there's like a link that they can click on and it'll bring up like MapQuest that's being transmitted from his device.
Yeah.
Sweet.
That works.
There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I know
Courtesy of Robot Hyperforce. Yeah.
I know this is really important, but do I have like 2 minutes to go look at the dinosaur room? Just like 2 minutes.
Is it on the way out?
Sure, it's on the way out. And everybody gets to tell me about what dinosaur impresses them the most.
Mercury loves the ankylosaurs. He likes the shell on the back of them and the way that they have that sort of exterior, but then they're like limbs underneath.
And what's it dressed as?
It's dressed as as like a early 20th century oil tycoon. So it's got like a monocle and the top hat and like a big curly mustache on the front of it. Yeah.
I think I see there's a section where they have a bunch of velociraptors
Oh, I was gonna say
like all
velociraptors
together.
too.
Oh yeah, but except they all have little elf hats and elf ears on
Yeah.
in the middle of a snow. And if Celsius could cry, she would.
Yeah, I was also gonna
So
say.
much.
I was also gonna say velociraptors because as soon as he looks at them, they're little like velociraptors are smaller than you
They're
would think they
small.
are.
They're wee.
And he's like, "Oh, velociraptors are kind of like the chihuahuas of the dinosaur world," and then
they
thinks back
all
to the
have
chihuahua.
elf ears.
I see a pterodactyl, and it is reminiscent of Soren from X-Men. And you see like a little cardboard standout of Mr. Sinister off to the side as well. Just kind of making the scene happen.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's at the entrance of the exhibit, and it's a bunch that are posed. It's like the little ones. What are those called? The little guys? Yeah,
Copies?
those guys. And it's like a bunch of them, and it says our dinosaur exhibit is Dynamite, and they all have Jimmy Walker hats.
I make you guys take a picture. I make you guys take a picture with me in front of that sign.
Oh yeah, selfies. Gigi's taking pictures and selfies the whole way. Katie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And uploading it to your webpage, right?
Yep.
Yep.
You
Our
guys-
blog.
You guys needed a star. Okay. And beep, 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 the sensors going off. And, you know, I picture like an Aliens 2 kind of thing, where you just see the center of the museum and then you see just a blob of readouts surrounding the city and laying out in the area 300 to 400 yards away from the central point of the origination.
Let's jet.
All right, I'm gonna summon the bus, get as many people on it as we can, and get to the sky.
All right. So you get to the sky. You look down, you're getting the readouts, and you could start hearing screaming from the streets on all sides.
Happening.
I think people are getting attacked. We may have to split up to see if we can handle this.
Split up or find whoever's doing this. Maybe if there's a central point, or if somebody has, I don't know, created these things or summoned these things. If we can stop them, maybe we can stop all of this.
GG, is there anything in that book that we took that definitely had the use of, like, you should use this later, that will help us figure out if there's a central point?
Is there a spell for raise dead?
Let's take a look.
It's like that movie. And then she looks at Caspian. She's like, that movie. You know that one?
Army of Darkness?
No, not that one.
Wreck-It Ralph?
Wreck-It Ralph? Is it like Wreck-It
No,
Ralph?
not
Mulan.
that one. No, not that one.
Frozen.
No, not
Night of
that
the
one.
Living Dead.
Yes, that one. She's like,
Yes.
that one.
It's exactly like that one.
Cool. She feels cool and informed.
So, GG, were you going to be doing something? I know we cut that off. What? I forgot if we decided we were going to do
I was gonna look in the book and
Yes.
see if there was something I could try and find relating to the resurrection or raising dead, I guess.
Go ahead and assess the situation then.
Oh no, that's not good. That is plus superior. That's a 3.
Oh.
Mark potential. Yeah, he's lost. The screaming coming from below is kind of like throwing him off a little bit, making him rush, and he's trying to use Google Translate still because he doesn't read or speak Gaelic, and he's getting flustered completely. He's lost.
Can I borrow that card that you got from Spineless?
It's in your phone.
Oh, sweet. I'm going to call up Spineless really quick.
Mhm.
And I'm going to ask him if, in their research, if they had any main point of resurrection notes that maybe the book wouldn't have, but maybe the research took up or found.
It goes directly to voicemail, and it says, Aegis will respond to you very shortly. Please leave a message. We are currently handling something at this time. There is a major event occurring. Your call is very important to us.
When the message goes, I'm calling about the important event. You should have like a 911 thing with Aegis, but maybe spell
and
out
then
Aegis.
It breaks through, and you hear he's coming through, and you can hear screaming on the ground, and you can hear it's not good. It's people. It's and then the phone like drops, and you can hear more screaming and footsteps and like other things like that.
Well, Spineless is probably now spineless. We gotta go. We gotta get down there.
God. All right. I'll start flying down towards where, like, the biggest clump of where they are is, the most dead things in areas we can get to.
All right. The one that hits you the most is a kind of like a shopping and banking district. Seems to have a large concentration of where some of these things may have moved to. It seems to be that there's at least 20 to 25 of them in that area as you gain some height and look down upon it.
All right.
All right,
Drop me in there.
Let's go.
All right.
Swoop over, get as close as we can, see what the situation's like inside.
We get the panel of the bus coming in and everybody under them running in the opposite direction. Panicking out of the streets, kids and families in their costumes, everything else like that. And as you land and you look, you see residents of Halcyon City walking up the street, but it looks like these bog bodies, which were either fully preserved, partially preserved, or whatever, it looks like the skin has crawled over them. The organs have forced their way into their mouths and various orifices, and they are just lurching through the streets and walking with purpose as if they're headed towards a destination. And you can see that their eyes are still alive and they are panicked and scared, but it's like they're not in control of their own bodies as they are being marched towards some unknown destination or purpose.
Gigi, can you pull up that tracker and try to triangulate the direction that all these bodies are now walking to?
All right, I'm on it. I'll start doing that. Is there anything I can get from it?
It's processing at this time, but it'll ping when it has an answer. There's a lot of maths to it because you're tracking 300 bog bodies, which are in various states of whatever they're doing.
Are there any peat bogs around the city?
No.
No, okay. All right. It was worth a shot.
It was a good thought, yes.
I have it running, and I go, okay, that's running in the background. We got to try and secure as many of these things as we can right now. Let's get in this.
Cool. Chris, as a heads up, we have about 10 minutes or so.
All right, that's fine. And as you're doing that, it pings, and the destination is just about 2 blocks away. There is a known burial hill in the middle of Halcyon City.
Oh, bad. Bad.
That dates back to like ancient times. It was actually brought over from Ireland and reassembled as a kind of like a tourist area to show off.
Leave it to Halcyon City to bring over and reassemble an entire hill.
Yeah.
That a lot of people have ate lunch on and had picnics before.
Yeah. Lucky Bug put it best. It was bad, and now it's worse.
And now.
Yep. Burial man. Let's get there.
Let's get there and see what's happening. Let's rush there.
As you turn around and you zoom away, leaving these people shambling forward, you see a woman standing there in a flowing purple dress, raven red hair, alabaster skin, standing at the top of this hill. At the top of this hill, there is a blue pool, like a kind of like a wading pool of some sort. It's about maybe like 5 or 6 yards wide, and it used to be a wading pool, but now it seems to be circling with unearthly, unhealthy blue and purple glows, and it's spinning and whirling and letting off an eerie light, and she's standing there over it, watching as these people who've been overcome with these bog bodies march slowly towards it.
No.
Hmm.
I want to Spartan 300 kicker into her own swirling pool of bullshit.
So you're leaping off and just going right at it, yes?
Oh, hell yeah.
right.
Hi, it's me, Celsius.
Yep. No.
I'm direct.
All right. Directly engage a threat then.
I want to fall from the sky because I'm also, I'm made of metal.
I'm getting that scene from Iron Man when he bursts forward and then his foot is just in front of him and he kicks somebody with like the thruster.
Go for it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm falling.
All right. So you do it. Directly engage a threat.
Hell yeah. All right, boys and ghouls.
May I tell you that this is going to be such a bad idea if she succeeds?
It's always the
If I
best,
succeed,
right?
me? Oh,
Yeah.
boy. Okay, so I got, and then directly engages your
Danger.
danger. Okay, so I got an 8.
Okay. So you got an 8. Go ahead and pick one off the list.
Okay. Impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition, I think is going to be great. As I'm coming in like for a hard landing and I'm engaging with this
All right.
this woman here.
You're going to exchange blows. So go ahead and take a powerful blow, and we'll talk about what happens as this occurs.
So I got a 5.
Good. You stand strong. As you come in, and she looks up and she sees you coming in, and she lets out a blood curdling scream. Her jaw drops
Oh no.
to about neck length, and you can
Ooh.
see that she's not human. Lets
Yeah.
out this blood curdling scream in your direction, but you power through it and you land your blow. And you hit her, and you said you're trying to push her into that pool.
Yeah, just kick her into the
You
nasty
kick her,
pool.
and she stumbles back to the pool, and she smiles at you. And before she falls in, she says, "Cleodna, Queen of the Banshees, thanks you for furthering the sacrifice. I give myself willingly to the resurrection of Baylor." And falls and smiles and falls back into the pool.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, I heard a name I don't like.
The ground shakes, the pool splits, and an arm bursts from the ground and digs into the street. And emerging from the ground is, let's see if I can link this picture here.
You said Balor, right?
Yeah. So
Shit.
let me
I stand by all my choices.
Yep.
This is exactly what a hero would have done.
Well,
I
you see,
wouldn't have it any other way.
yes. Here, I'll throw a link up real quick, and we'll get to the.
She turns around. She's like, "Cabin in the woods, right? That's what we're doing."
Yes.
Cabinet, yeah, good. Happy Halloween.
Well, there's a picture of what you see coming out of the ground.
I can't open chat or I'm going to screw up the stream, but
I'll send it to you, Josh.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice,
redirect notice.
Cyclops. Giant, horrible Cyclops, man. Yay!
And it is now standing
Oh,
in
shit.
downtown
boy.
Halcyon City, looking like that.
Uh-oh.
would you like to describe it for our viewers here?
Yes. For the viewers, basically, it almost looks like he almost looks like a maybe 10 or 12 story tall muscular cyclops. Balor was known for having an eye that could lay entire armies and cities to waste if he decided to peel back his 7 lids and stare intently. And as he rises from the ground with a large spear and his shuttered eyelids, he says, "Tonight, Samhain is reborn, and all the unbelievers and uncelebrators of the harvest shall burn before Balor in sacrifice."
We're not making the midnight showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show, are we?
No, I don't think
Nope.
so.
And,
Nope.
and it is on. So this is going to be our big final boss battle. So the way I like to do it is when we're doing this online. So let's this is gonna be our big final fight. So let me find the sheets real quick. You know the sheets I'm looking for, Loren, don't you?
It depends which sheets. I might. I know what sheets
the
are.
Sheet with where you're going into like the final fight, and you add and subtract the pool from it. I'm trying to.
Oh, it's under peripheral moves when you engage a foe as a team.
Yep. Team mechanics. There we go. All right, so you have 2 in the pool right now. All right, everybody just type in a name real quick. Don't hit enter. Just type in a name in chat. Who you think the leader is going into this?
Josh can't do that.
I'll say it when everyone enters it.
All right. Does everybody have a name written down?
Hold on. Who the leader is?
Yeah, who you think the leader is going into this battle? Don't second guess it. Just go with your gut.
Okay,
That's always the best.
got it.
And 1, 2, 3, hit enter.
Celsius.
Oh, I already did it. Oh, me?
Yep.
Whoops.
Why didn't it go?
Okay, so we don't agree on that. All right. But it seems like Celsius got the most votes. Do you have influence over everybody on the team?
I should be leading this. I do.
Yeah, I have influence over just 3 of them.
Okay. What's the purpose of the fight? What's everybody trying to do? I think stop the big guy is pretty much
Save the city.
Stop the big guy before midnight.
All right.
Because we got somewhere to be.
We do.
We turn into a pumpkin.
Yep. I don't think that you're ill prepared or off balance. You may be caught by surprise that Celsius hurried up the process instead of stopping it.
Yep.
I'm not surprised. Celsius is like, yeah, this feels better.
Does anybody mistrust or not agree with Celsius's decision making?
I have 100% faith in Celsius.
All right.
Aww.
All right.
Hey.
3 pool going into the final battle. We might
At
run
the
about.
very worst, it'll be entertaining.
Yeah. All right.
For sure.
So this thing has just stood up, and it looks up towards everybody else that's still on the bus, and you see one eyelid flip up and slide over. Based on what you've read, Balor has 7 eyelids, and 2 have opened.
Oh boy. Well, I'm immediately, now that I'm facing a new opponent, I'm gonna run and jumple tackle and like try to climb up him and start activating my fucking heat aura.
All right, go for it.
All right, so direct engage or wait, how
Yep,
was that
that's
called? Yep.
directly engage.
Oh, I'm definitely doing it. Let's go. I'm just a hot piece of metal all up in your grill. Oh, it's so good. Okay. That's a 12?
Beautiful.
Yep. Okay, so I get to pick 2 of these things.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I think I'm trying to create an opportunity by distracting it, being climbing all over him. I think I'm also climbing all over him intentionally to avoid their blows. So, because he's big, right?
Yes, he's huge.
So I'm climbing all over him and just like getting hotter and hotter, like just making myself a horrible distraction.
This is disturbing. The way I picture this is you jump onto like his leg and you kind of crawl up into his thigh and you turn hot enough where you actually sink and worm into his leg.
Yeah.
And he screams in pain and he's like actually trying to take the tip or brunt of his weapon, and you've distracted him enough where it burns and hurts him so bad that he's stabbing himself in the leg to try and get to you. And she has completely pulled his attention away from the rest of the team.
Hey, GG, can you make a pass near his head? I got an idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll flip the USB stick to my usual weapon, which is a laser rifle.
Okay.
And I take to the sky on the bus, and I start looping around his head and taking pot shots at him.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you're taking pot shots at him. All right.
And Mercury is going to be on the platform in the back. And as they make a pass around, he's going to dive off right towards the Baylor's eye. I'm going to poke him in the eye with my body.
With me.
Now, GG, were you looking to more like add to the team or add to his move, or were you looking to directly engage him yourself, or were you looking to assist Mercury with what he's trying to do?
I would probably try to be assisting him while he's trying to get there. So I'm giving him basically the opportunity.
+1 forward. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. I'll give him +1 forward going on with this move. So you're going to add 1 to your roll with directly engaging the threat here.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Okay, so I got an 8 +1 is 9, and then I add my danger, so 10.
Beautiful. So pick 2 from the list. Resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, impress, surprise, frighten the opposition.
So can I so I'd like to take his vision. So like blind him, I guess.
Okay.
With that. And then I would also like to
You're all rolling so well tonight.
I'm very grateful I rolled that way.
I mean, I have 3 potentials so far, so
yeah,
not that great.
And then I'll create an opportunity for my allies as well.
Okay, so you take his sight from him.
Mm-hmm.
Describe how you do this, how you land and do this.
Okay, so he dives off the platform in the back, and then he pulls himself into like a cannonball, and his skin tone turns leaden again as he becomes more massive and heavier to punch Baylor right in the eye hole, and hopefully drive him back, and then he just sinks like a weight after he bounces off of his face.
You catch him right square in the eye. It snaps his head back, and roll to take a powerful blow because you didn't choose to resist or avoid his blows, and we'll see where the narration goes from there based on the results.
All right. That is a 7.
Okay, so choose one on the 7 in line list.
I'll take a couple conditions.
Okay, so what happens is you think that you're pretty much going to one-shot this guy right in the eye. You're like, oh, he's got one eye. That's his weakness. Bam, you punch him, and it snaps his head back. And when he comes forward and you come off, he just backhands the shit out of you. Oof. And sends you flying into a nearby building. Just boom, impacts you, breaks the building open. You see yourself tumbling through office furniture, and you are just you are afraid because you've never been smacked like that before. You're used to having the upper hand in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say you're angry because you're like, all right, son, this is, I see you want to play hardball.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he pretty much just swatted you like a gnat.
Oof. Okay.
Next up, who hasn't moved yet?
I would love to charge up my powers and then use something if I get some burn.
Okay. Go ahead. Give it the roll.
Oh, nice. That is 9.
I believe you get, what is it, 2 burn and...
Mark a condition.
Yes.
So I'm going to mark afraid.
Okay.
Especially since I know what this thing is capable of, which is exactly the point. So I'm going to charge up by concentrating on the fear that's going on and knowing what this creature can do and what its eye can do and the destructive force that's behind its vision. I start to feel my eyes start to go red as it starts to manifest itself into a very Cyclops-esque optic blast.
Okay.
Of trying to emulate its own power against it, and I'm going to use overcharge.
Awesome.
So I'm going to burn the 2 burn to take an instant 10+ with unleashing my powers against it.
Nice.
Ooh,
Wow.
that's a Nova, baby.
Unleashing the powers or directly engaging it. It's
Unleashing my powers.
all right. So what are you trying to do with him here?
It says I can overcome an obstacle, reshape my environment, or extend my senses.
Okay.
I mean, I consider it an obstacle.
Okay.
With using my destructive force, I would love to hinder it in some way.
We actually see you leap up into the air and float, and not only do your eyes go red, but a blue or a red aura kind of surrounds you, and you let out with your own optic blast that meets this thing that meets its eyelids. It's see an indentation that was left by Mercury, and you focus on it, and you start burning through into this thing's eye, and you hear it scream in anger and pain again. And it stutters, my eye, my eye, my eye. So I believe that Loren hasn't made a move yet.
Yes, hello. That would be me. Liminal, unlike everyone else, is not equipped to fight at all. Not really. Like he could punch people maybe, but this thing is going to be not punchy. And so that eye seems to be the big thing here, right?
Big thing. The
Yeah,
buckaroo.
The buckaroo. So I am going to leap off the back of the bus, and I don't know if this applies to. Are you watching closely? Mislead, distract, or trick. Would spray painting in his eye count as distracting?
I think that Josh has his full attention.
Oh, that's
right
true.
now.
So I am. What am I gonna do? I think Liminal is. Liminal's gonna go to that weird pool on the ground. Is that still there?
Yes, it is. It's split asunder, but it's still that he climbed out of. It's split asunder, but it's still active. But the people that were wrapped in the bog bodies have all stopped and are looking up intently at the fight occurring. You can see that they're stopped and just kind of like looking up and staring up to Baylor.
Okay. Can I like go down and start tearing the weird bog mummy stuff off of people?
Sure.
All right, cool. I'm gonna roll to defend.
Okay.
I can't deal. You guys got the big guy. I'll go help the little people.
Crash mobs.
Crash mobs. And yeah, no, we're not doing anything with that.
Okay.
We got a 3. I rolled a 4.
Oh gosh, I want you to take a powerful blow, in retaliation.
Okay. What's the powerful blow looking like? What's happening?
Well, it's like I guess you try and go over and maybe like try to use some of your nanites to like devour the bog bodies off of people.
Yes, that is exactly what I do. I go down there and I'm just spraying them.
First one you roll up to and you spray on it. The human underneath screams, and the 3 that you sprayed, the bog bodies leave them and leap onto you.
Oh no. Well, I resist this because I did roll a 3 on that one. So I think like they leap onto me, and I do get the canister up just in time, like, and it just like it dives into the cloud and gets eaten away.
I can see this picture of like Liminal like jumping up and down and like spraying his stuff, and these things are snapping at him and melting the whole time. And it's like a panel where he's backing up, and these bodies are just like melting as they're trying to.
He's just getting surrounded on all sides.
Yeah, and he's just turning and spraying, and they are leaping off of them to attack you, but you're keeping them at bay. Don't forget to mark potential for that.
I did.
All right. And so our little muscle crawling hot body is not being stabbed at anymore. So we're coming.
I'm a robot. Yeah. Okay. So my friends are definitely doing their business. I would like to also climb up towards the top though, where this eye hole situation is going on. So maybe I'm climbing up his back. Like I'm just trying to get up there to directly engage. So I think I'm probably gonna try to. Could I fit my arms around his neck to choke him, or no? He's too big. Okay.
Yeah, too big.
All right, then I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm gonna start climbing onto his face and just punching him in the eye because.
Go ahead.
We got to be sticky and we got to be gross this whole
engage
episode. Oh shoot!
Yeah, directly engage a threat. Go ahead, roll that one time. Make it count.
Oh, I will.
Don't forget, you have team to use as well.
Okay. All right. What does team do?
You can add to the roll if people help you out.
I'm kind of laggy. So what can I use team for?
Like if you directly engage a threat and you miss it by a little bit, you can use it to up the totals of your roll by teammates helping you out.
Okay. Yeah. So with that, I only got a 7. So if there's anything I can do to get.
I think there's only how many team in the pool? I think you're sitting at 2 team in the pool, so it wouldn't be able to be enough to bump it to a 10. But a 7 is still a hit.
Okay.
So what are you trying to do here?
So right now, basically, I'm climbing onto his face again with my heat's just getting more and more intense at this point. And I'm on his face and I'm trying to like directly punch into the eye or just be a horrible, horrible distraction.
Cool. So you're trying to create an opportunity for your allies.
Yeah, I'm definitely doing that.
So take a powerful blow as you smack this thing in the eye. It's going to get to retaliate on you.
All right. I rolled a 5.
Oh, mark potential. He reaches up and he tries to grab you and pluck you off of his eye. How do you defend yourself against that?
I think
coming to try and.
Yeah. So I think I imagine like my power is a slow burn, right? Because my field around me it gets hotter and hotter as this happens, but now my body is also made of metal, so I've heated up to such an extreme point that it's even worse. Like he tries to grab me, but it instantly like burns his hand away. Awesome. So there's just that moment where I'm just attached and getting hotter and hotter.
All right. So he's distracted. He's getting burned. His eyes getting whapped up. Who's next?
I'll go next.
All right.
So I'm flying up towards the head. I'm going to set the bus on autopilot so that it will catch me. Okay. I'm going to flip the laser rifle because Gigi sees an opportunity and he's going to take it. He flips the rifle to essentially the rod extends out and you see two big blades appear on the end, two like laser blades, and he has a laser axe now.
Okay.
And he leaps from the bus and tries to hit the hand and try and get it to release Celsius. So that
it doesn't have her because it keeps trying to reach.
Oh, it keeps trying?
It's that it burns it's like melts his flesh before it even gets too close to him.
Okay, then I'm gonna try
and you have Josh's character burning a blast into its eye, and Mercury got kind of like slapped into the.
Then instead of an axe, I'm going to mount it to the bus, and I'm going to essentially create a laser cannon.
Okay.
Using, I forgot my two abilities that I took are density control and alien weaponry. Sweet. So I'm going to unleash my powers to try and funnel as much power as I can from the bus to fuel a laser shot straight at the eyeball.
Sweet. We'll make that you can do that because that's part of your power set. So I say that's a directly engage a threat to attack this individual with the laser cannon.
Or like rail gunning it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty much.
Oh, that's a 7 with danger, which is a -1, so a 6.
Can we use team to help out?
Yes, you can. There's 2 teams available.
Where are you shooting at, John?
I'm going to be shooting at the eye also.
So can I just help because I am hitting the eye as well to yeah.
All right, you turn up the intensity. I'm going to have you, if you want to do it, I'm going to make you a sacrifice by marking a condition to do it.
Sure. I will say, let's see, I have angry, hopeless, and insecure to go. So I'm going to say I am feeling insecure.
Okay.
Because as much as I'm doing this damage back to this thing, I'm kind of honing in the powers of this very bad, powerful creature, apparently with ease. And that makes me feel not great that I have this destructive power, because this can potentially go bad in the future. So I'm feeling insecure about myself and what my powers could mean.
Okay. And as that's going on, your blast is still sinking into his eye, and then GG flies over and lets loose with his laser cannon. And finally, that combined might breaks through. And for lack of a better description, it is head explodey time.
I'm so sticky.
Brains, blood, skull, eye juice, everything off of this like 20-story monster's head just coats everyone and everything as the body just
I'm outside the splash zone.
crumbles and just falls to the floor. As it hits the ground in the Halcyon City streets, the bog bodies that are attached to people melt away. The pool just pretty much does a poltergeist and closes up and goes almost back to what it was before. And the body of Baylor just starts to disintegrate, starts to dry up, and a breeze comes through and tumbles it through the streets like so many leaves. And all is quiet on the full moons of the streets of Halcyon.
Holy shit, we're so cool. Team Robot Hyperforce at super.com.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Damn.
Thank you, Chris.
Yes,
thank
I know
you,
we
man.
ran a little
Thank
bit late, but
All good, dude.
Oh man, that was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm so glad I got to
That
play
was
this
fun.
again.
All right.
A lot of fun. Yeah, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Well, let's do some sign-offs. We have our Twitter handles on the stream already, so everyone can see those. But one last little sign-off from everybody. So, Chris, where can people find you? And, who are you again?
hey, at Polish_ogre, check us out at Corpses and Curios. We're a GURPS horror-based podcast. If you like the horror spooky stuff, that's my bag. Thank you again for having me.
thank you for doing this for us, man. It was a great idea.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Loren.
Hi. You can find me on such places as the internet. No, my...
I know of that place.
Yeah, GG knows. DM_LSP, it's right there. You can listen to me on the Nerds on a Roll podcast and find me floating about as a guest on various other places. Yeah, that's about it. I like masks a lot. It's fun. This was great. I had a great.
Your first full game.
Yeah, it's my first. This is my first full time playing. Actually, it was awesome to get to play. I've run games for everybody here but Paul, so I'll have to fix that in the future. Yeah, I had a great time. Thanks, everybody.
All right, Celeste.
Hi, everybody. I'm Celeste Conowitch. You can find me online at @CConowitch. You can also check out my stuff if you like what I'm doing. I DM and produce for a podcast called Venture Maidens, which is an actual play D&D podcast featuring a cast of all non-dudes. So check us out at Venture Maidens or wherever podcasts are free. I'm also the co-host for DMnastics, which you can find over on the DM's block. And we do mental workouts for your mind. So if you love D&D, that's me.
Paul.
You can find me at Paul_Harpring. I am the narrator for the Venture Maidens, so you can hear my wonderful voice at the top of every episode. Yeah, this was a blast. Thank you for having me. I look forward to playing more masks in the future. Thank you all so much.
John.
Hi, I'm John, or Bucky, whichever you feel like calling me. You can find me on Twitter at Bucky_Masters. Normally, I'm Vendelar Greymeyer on Taking Initiative with my bearded best friend over in the side over there. And yeah, every Monday, opposite Celeste over there, you can find one of us on Nerd Immersion stream. Celeste over there is playing a character who is quite a character, I should say.
Oh, Leopold, who sends your party constant messages about what they're wearing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they're playing the Rise of Tiamat campaign. And on my side, on the opposite Monday, we're playing Princes of the Apocalypse. And I play Ozzy, the lore mastery wizard who is easily persuaded to do many, many things.
And just remember, everybody, there's always Christmas.
There's always Christmas.
I love holiday themes.
All right. And again, I'm Josh Pro. I'm the current DM for Taking Initiative. You can find me on Twitter at whatever it says right below me to pitch our network in case you're here from another show. We also have Nerds on a Roll, as Loren is part of, and The Lucky Die, and Couch for it. They all happen on our network. If you want to find Taking Initiative, it's at TI_pod. We release episodes every other Monday. We have our final arc coming up very soon, and Celeste is a guest in that whole series. So she's in that. She's also in the current Meanwhile in Barovia series we have going on that Bucky is DMing. I've guested on the Venture Maidens as of recent times as well, and it was a blast. We tend to guest on each other's stuff all the time, so if you like what you're hearing here, you'll like to check out each other's stuff because you'll find us there as well. Again, Chris, thank you very much for DMing for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fun.
Thank you, Chris.
20 minutes too long, but thank you.
All good, and thank you all for playing with us and making this a fun stream, and for the chat for sticking around and hanging out with us with this nice mishmash of stuff. But until then, catch you guys later, and until next time.
Bye. Until next time.
Everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.